All right, what is going on, guys? How are you all doing today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Looks like everything is sounding lovely. Hope you're all having a good Wednesday. Just making sure everything looks good. We're going to get rid of that. There we go. All right. We are live. All right. Happy Wednesday, guys. We have a fun live stream coming. We have the Phase 2 Pearl announced. So we're going to talk all things new bowling balls. Last week, we had an awesome show. So this week, we're going to be taking it back to what we do, back to our roots, to be able to talk anything and everything bowling, help you guys. But first, let's check out who's all hanging out. We got Joe, first one in the chat. Welcome, welcome. Grumpa, what's going on? Eric, Duncan, hello, hello. Kyle G from Arizona. Duncan, my pair of nines is ready to be replaced, and I'm a toe dragger. So love that I can always replace the top cap. Do the SSTX have the same functionality? I know very, very little about the SSTXs. I know they were delayed like months and months. I know a couple of creators were reached out to by Dexter to get them. And there are also some very tiny creators who were reached out to by Dexter. I think like one of the heads of Dexter like just posted on her Facebook like, who wants a pair of Dexters, or like who wants to work with us or something. So I haven't seen anything really about them, in all honesty. I know very little about them. But first of all, Josh Getty, $5 pre-stream donation. We're not pre-stream, Josh, but thank you so much for the $5 dono. Great to see you hanging out, Josh. Love to see you hanging out here. All right, I think we can switch over so I'm not looking away from the screen. No, we aren't. Okay. Yeah, we hit Arizona. We hit Duncan. No, we are. JC, what's going on? Jack, what's up? Grumpa, I need a phase 2 Pearl, and a Criterion Inverse. Ooh, you got a lot of fun stuff going on. Love that, love that. You need to get just all three. Robbie, what's going on over on the TikTok chat? Curtis, what is up? First time catching me live. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Robbie, what would you suggest? A good middle level ball? There's a lot of options, Robbie. Let me know what you got, and then we'll be able to work from there. Eric, greetings from Cali. Hope all are doing well. Let's see. Aaron, what is going on? Hope you're doing well. Clarify, verify, where does a Phase 2 Pearl fit? It is going to be a medium sharp ball. Phase 2 Pearl is a medium sharp ball. It's going to fit like right next to the Rockstar Amped. It's like, it kind of fits, it kind of switches. Some people are saying it's stronger. Some people are saying it's weaker. I think the Rockstar Amped is a little bit stronger. It picks up in the friction a little bit more, where the Phase 2 Pearl kind of gets through the friction and then rounds off of it a little bit more. That's where I'm seeing it. Also, Bowling Fool, thank you for the membership. Welcome, welcome. Go check out Bowling Fool. Has an awesome YouTube page. Absolutely fantastic stuff over there. He opens mystery balls like every other day and has the greatest luck you'll ever see with a mystery ball. It's surreal what that man has been able to pull from mystery balls. Sal, good evening. What is going on? Sal, Professor Turtle Guy, still the best name. What's a good replacement for a Theorem Pearl? I want something similar in strength, but a more desirable shape. Ideally motive. If you want motive, you're going to want to go with like a Primal Rage. That's probably going to be your only bet that's going to be as weak as that Theorem Pearl. That I think the Nebula will be a little too quick to be able to switch it. But if you want that, that's going to be the play. All right, let's see. We've got Robbie. I don't have one. So this is going to be your first ball, Robbie? If this is going to be your first ball for middle level, I mean, I honestly would start a little bit lower. I would, if you want to get like an okay ball, I mean, I always recommend Hustles and Vibes for people who are just starting out. But if you want to go a little bit stronger than that, you could go like a High Road 40, Road Warrior. You could go with something from Brunswick. I mean, a GB5 Pearl's pretty cheap right now. That might not be a bad play. Motive, it's gonna be a lot pricier for it. It's gonna be about $200 before drilling. That's gonna be like Primal Rage or Nebula. So hopefully that helps out. No, first middle level ball. Okay, that's where you're just gonna go anything medium, smooth, or sharp. So you have a billion different options. Make sure to check out our categorization guides, and you're gonna see a lot of good options there. You see a lot of good options. Gone, what is up? Jack just ordered the Zero Mercy Solid. I'm not surprised at the hype of the Zero Mercy Solid. Like, everybody is loving how that ball looks right now, but I'm always the one who kind of realists the situation sometimes with these bowling balls, because the Zero Mercy Solid, while it looks amazing, my big worry is it usable? Because it is the highest hooking ball on the planet. Oil volumes are getting lower and lower. So is it really going to be usable for a house shot? Probably not. Is it going to be usable for tournaments? Yeah, more than likely. So it's going to be interesting to see where that one really plays into things. It's going to be interesting. Let's see. Corky, greetings, fellow Minnesotan. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. James, Matthew, Brooke. I think I made a decision on a new ball. Hey, what'd you get, Brooke? What are you going with? Bobby D, what's going on? James, can you turn up your volume a little bit? Yeah, I can go a little bit higher. How is that? I think I probably lowered it last week when we had Brian on. Thank you, everybody, by the way, who showed support and joined into the stream with Brian Buckosh last week. He's an awesome dude. He got super, super nerdy into what we were all talking about, which was awesome. We learned a lot, and I personally also learned a lot about Deviate's new idea, their new core tech, where they're kind of going with things, a little more about the Zero Mercies, a little more about a lot of the balls coming out. I know Brunswick really wants to put an emphasis on some of those smaller brands because Hammer is, of course, selling like they always do. You could grab a cinder block in the parking lot and pop a Hammer logo on it, and it's going to sell better than most things on the market, it's just how it is. I mean, you can do that with any large brand, but their other brands are just struggle bussing all over the place, like Deviate, Ebonite, C300. They're just not doing great. So they're trying to be able to boost those with different ideas. And I think what they're doing with Deviate is really cool. I think that's a really cool concept with what they're doing. But it's been interesting to hear you guys, what you all say about. But thank you, everyone who showed support last week. It was super fun to talk to them. Matthew, love your streams. Are there enough active goat balls to make a 6-ball arsenal? Any brand? No, I don't think so. Picking a goat ball is always so tough. Because there aren't many. Like you've got Storm has a ton. Brunswick unfortunately doesn't really have one because they get rid of a lot of them. Like NV Tour, I think could have been one, but it's gone. Some of the older Black Widows could have been, but those are all gone. So it's always tough. And like Storm, they keep a lot on the market. They got the IQ Phase 2 High Road that are never going to go away, which is good. Motive, of course, Venom Shock, Jackal Ghost. So that's 5, but I don't think it can make a full 6-ball arsenal. There aren't really any good like asymmetrical pearls that have been in the lineups for a while. I think Evoke Hysteria should do that, but we'll see. It all depends on sales. I don't even know if that can even be possible anymore. I thought the Attention Star was going to be a staple for like another year, and that wasn't selling well. So it is Gonski, absolutely Gonski. All right, before we get into it a little bit deeper, make sure to drop a follow or a subscription with whatever platform you guys are on. We are on a lot of different platforms right now. We're on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, and Facebook. So whatever platform you're on, make sure to drop a follow or subscription. Best way to help support the channel and best way to help us keep getting all of these videos out, being able to get 3 videos out a week on YouTube, being able to get 2 TikToks every day pushed out, and all that fun stuff. But let us keep going. Today, we are talking about the new balls. We're going to talk about the 5 new Brunswick balls, that Motive Nebula, and the elusive Phase 2 Pearl. Totally was not leaked by anybody called Bowler's Journal. Definitely wasn't leaked at all. But we'll talk about that. I probably had about 20 games now on the Phase 2 Pearl. So I probably have some of the most, so I'm probably on the higher end of people who've thrown the Phase 2 who have a lot of games on it, of like how many games I've thrown with it in different situations. So I want to talk a lot more about that ball, where it really fits, what it looks like now that I've seen it on different situations, on carry down, on no carry down, short, long, whatever it may be. So we're going to get into a lot of that as well. But otherwise, it's always mainly a Q&A talking to all of you beautiful people on these live streams. So let's keep going with all of the comments that you guys have. And our English is never very good. Tim, just the life I wanted to catch. Ordered the Phase 2 Pearl the other day. Nice. Packy's getting the Rockstar Amped. Awesome. I love my Rockstar Amped yet. That thing's still awesome. I'm terrified between Rockstar Amped and Phase 2 Pearl. No first middle level. What's a first middle level, Robbie? Evan, what is going on? Kenny, is a hustle good enough as a 1-ball do-it-all for League? It's going to be weaker, but yeah, I mean, really almost any ball can be that 1-ball for League. League is always hard because your house shot can be radically different. You could have 23 mils of oil. You could have 32 mils of oil. So it really depends on where you bowl and what your style is to really fit what could be a like singular ball you use for League. Tim, how will the Phase 2 Pearl be in comparison to the Zen 25? It's going to hook a little bit later, but it's also going to be a very similar downlane reaction. I think a little rounder. The Zen was a little directional, like when it wanted to hook, it kind of just went. It was rounder than most things on the market, but still a little more directional to Phase 2 Pearl. Phase 2 Pearl is probably the roundest ball reaction I've seen from a Pearl since the original Zen. It is so archy, so continuous. It's just a full banana shape when it hooks compared to like other balls that just kind of hook and roll. So it's been very cool to see. Robbie, you have a Troublemaker and a Rhino. Robbie, the Troublemaker is going to be a medium ball. If it's the original Troublemaker, that's going to be a medium sharp ball. So if you're looking for medium smooth, you could get a Troublemaker solid if you like your Troublemaker. Otherwise, like a Hammerhead could be a good option. That could be another great one. Out of name, what is going on? Out of names, what is up? Jeremy, what's your pap and go-to layout based on ball type? I always go super basic. I'm like a 50 by 5 by 35 type guy. That's kind of my go-to. Wayne, Brunswick has a guest next week before you guys have Thanksgiving dinner together. Yeah, no, he won't answer my DM. Don, what is going on? Ronald, what's up? Mike, I love your comments yet. Josh, I hit send before the stream. Ooh, it must have delayed it. That's unfortunate. Bowling Fool, thanks for all you do in the bowling community. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. Yeah, we've been grinding lately. It's been a grind of a couple weeks. We've gotten a lot of cool stuff out lately. Joe, what do you know about the Radical Pandemonium? I got it from those $75 warehouse mystery balls. Can't find any worthwhile reviews. That ball was forgotten about in about 3 months. That was kind of the age of Radical where like nobody cared. 0 people cared about Radical. That was when Brunswick pulled in all 7 brands for the first time, Radical got severely ignored. They had the Bigfoot, and then that was about it. The Pandemonium wasn't bad. It was a big slow ball, just like a lot of their stuff was at the time, was just big, slow, very similar ball reactions. That's kind of where the Pandemonium was. Expect it to play a little straighter, but be a little bit stronger. Don, I rolled a 279 with my OG Phase 2. Hey, congrats, man. That's awesome. Should I get the Phase 2 Pearl? I saw a similar reaction between my old Phase 2 Pearl or Phase 2 and my new Phase 2 Pearl. So if you want to have a Pearl option that isn't your duo, because I know you like that duo, but that could be a good one. Bowling Fool, Zero Mercy Solid this time. Did you actually pull a Zero Mercy Solid? No shot. That would be insane. That'd be absolutely crazy. All right, let me catch up. Luke, make sure you're not spamming again, man. Don't spam too much over on the TikTok chat. I know you've had that in the past. Crow, thoughts on the Rotogrip Gem? Rotogrip Gem is one of the best strong and smooth balls of the last 5 years. That thing was awesome. Very good for playing straight. Robbie, I was thinking new 2.0. No, the new doesn't even, no, that doesn't really fit in that slot. I would avoid that. If you're a league bowler, you don't need the NU 2.0. Another big mistake that a lot of guys are making, I think, is they're buying the 2 most popular balls in the last Brunswick batch are the Zero Mercy Solid and the NU 2.0, and those are the worst league balls from that bunch. They are not going to be that good of league balls. There are better options for you. They're going to be more tournament bowling balls. So if you think you need an NU 2.0, do you bowl tournaments is the main question. If you bowl league, you're going to kind of drop your chances of being able to carry that much. I saw a little bit of Hype's video on the new 2.0 in League, and it's not a league ball, I don't think. The NU Blue was because it lane shines so quick, but the NU 2.0 isn't. It should not be. Matthew, you could be that lucky. Franchise, rate them in order for me. Crown Vic, Phase 2 Pearl, Rockstar Amped, Real Time. The Real Time, I think, hooks the earliest. I think it goes Real Time. I go Real Time, Rockstar Amped, Phase 2 Pearl, Crown Vic. Some people flip around the Rockstar and the Phase 2 Pearl. Kind of a 50-50 between them. Oh, you bought the Zero Mercy. Okay. That would have been insane. That would have been wild. Grump, I try to compete with him for best mystery ball pulls. True. Duncan, what should we recommend for a righty toe dragger? Tape. Putting some tape on your shoe actually helps it slide a little bit better. So wherever you're like rubbing, put some like electrical tape there and it'll slide easier. Corey Casey, what's going on? Bob Stannard, my next equipment is 900 Global Viking and the Phase 2 Pearl. That's awesome. Nice. It's a really good combo. I actually really liked Viking into Phase 2 Pearl this last weekend. I bowled on WTBA Rome, like 41 feet, 26 mils, 2-to-1 ratio. I started with my original Phase 2 and then took a step left and kind of alternated between the Viking and the Phase 2 Pearl, depending on the pair I was on and how many people were throwing urethane. If there was urethane on my pair, Viking was better. If there was no urethane on my pair, Phase 2 Pearl was better. It was really cool because the Viking just wanted to hook earlier and get through that carry down a little better. When the Phase 2 Pearl saw that carry down, it just is a little too weak to be able to make a jump off of it. Gengar with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Gengar. Appreciate it. Any tips learning how to slide after planning for a long time? 1-step drills is going to be your best play. You're just going to want to go up to the line, be like 5 feet, 3 feet behind it, and you're going to want to just practice sliding while your arm is just swinging, just to get that feeling down a little bit, because it is not easy. Not an easy switch there. Alec, with 10 minutes of practice time and 8 bowlers sharing a pair, how do you figure the right ball to start with? I just feel like I default to my strongest ball and work my way down. That is where a benchmark comes into play. I know a lot of bowling YouTubers are like, ew, benchmark, that's a bad term. It's not a bad term. It's not a bad term at all. That is actually what you want to start with in those situations. You start with that middle ball in your bag. That generally is a medium smooth ball, but could be something else, just whatever is like middle strength level. And then if that doesn't have the reaction you want more hook, you go up in the bag. Kind of like splitting it in half, where like if you start with the top and go down, say you have 6 balls, you have to go through all 6 to get through to the bottom one. But if you start with the middle, then you can make that decision and you only have 3 to go through. So I'd recommend starting with the middle one and then going from there. Lou Roberts, yeah, GB5 Solid is super, super cheap right now. I guarantee it might be down to like 100 to 110 bucks for Black Friday. Also, zero intel on knowing if it's going to be that price. Just it's 120 to 130 everywhere right now. So I assume it's going to get even lower when Black Friday comes up. Hey, Spareware, what's going on with the Star Map Polaris? Thank you, man, for the gift. Really appreciate it. Love seeing you here. Love it, love it. Brooke, how does an Infinity Quest sound with my Mesmerize, Rockstar, Crown Vic, and IQ AI? If you want it, that is not going to be very angular. It's going to be pretty slow down lane. So if you want something a little slower, like it's basically going to be a weaker Mesmerize, that's going to be the play for you. But if you want quicker, you're going to have to go over to like a Combat or an Energize, will be a little sharper down lane. Druider, I need a strong, smooth ASIM, and I've had my eye on the outer limit solid. I know he says it dies out quick. Should I pick a different ball? What can you do to prolong its death? If you really like it, I'd buy it. Just be ready to always be wiping off the oil. The way that a bowling ball dies quicker is if you don't wipe off the oil, because then it all absorbs into the ball. So every time your ball comes back, I always recommend using a chamois. Shameless plug, make sure to use a ZVL bowling chamois if you want, but otherwise any chamois, just getting that oil off is going to help it not absorb into the cover. That's what you generally knocks out a bowling ball reaction. So make sure you're doing that and you'll be good to go. John, GB5 Solid, GB5 Pearl, GB4 on super sale. Ooh, yeah, the GBs always are. I don't know why. They should be bought more. Peter Potter from Fresno, what's going on, man? Great to see you. Thank you, by the way, and Brandon for the follows over on TikTok. Colin, what do you know about the Motive Nebula? So the Nebula is supposed to be Motive's most angular bowling ball. Now, Motive is easily the smoothest brand in bowling, outside of Swag, of course. They're on another level of being slow and smooth reaction. But the Nebula is going to be the quickest Motive ball out of Motive's lineup. So it's going to be very angular down lane. Now, does that equate to being the most angular ball in the market? No, not even close. I think things like the Crown Victory, things like the the Piranha Power Core, I think is up there. Things like that are going to be a lot sharper down lane, whereas that ball isn't going to be as angular as those. But it is so far looks to be a pretty decent thank you for the sub, by the way. It looks to be a pretty decent medium sharp ball. Again, it's not released yet, so only Motive staffers have thrown it. And the one thing I've noticed with a lot of content creators from Motive lately is they are like all riding the choo-choo hype train on a lot of those balls. So we haven't seen a lot of comparisons for Motive all that often. There's been a handful out there, but it looks like it is just slightly quicker than Primal Rage. So if you have a Primal Rage, stay far away from it. Hey, K-Brew with the resub over on Twitch. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. So I would go with that. Casey, Zero Mercy Pearl video. Casey, unfortunately, I do not get any of the Brunswick or the Motive equipment. I only receive the Storm equipment right now. So I have not thrown any of the new releases from Motive or Brunswick. So I can't say much about the Zero Mercy Pearl because I found out it is one of the least popular bowling balls of this batch of 5. I've done a couple polls both on YouTube and Discord for what ball are you most excited for. Nobody picks the Zero Mercy Pearl. The Zero Mercy Pearl, the Heckler Hybrid, and the Entity Pearl are ignored. Completely ignored. The Zero Mercy Pearl looks good. It's a really, really strong Pearl ball. It is not as quick as a lot of people are saying, I don't think, especially if you're on centers where the ball hooks too early. But it is a super, super strong Pearl ball. One of the strongest Pearl balls on the market because of that cover stock. So it's looking good. Just people, when you watch, of course, when people put out reviews, they're going to put the most popular balls first. So we haven't seen as many Zero Mercy Pearl videos as I was hoping for, but it looks good. Ken, down and out with the flu, still rocking A. Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it. Co, you got 2 mystery balls. What do you think I'll get? You will get a I bet you're gonna get a dark side and you're gonna get a GP5 Pearl. What I'm thinking. Rye Peasy, I bought the Lightning Blackout for 110. Wondering if it was a good deal. Yeah, I think the Lightning Blackout is finally at a price where it's worth buying. It is a weakened sharp ball and it likes to play straighter. So if you want that for your house shot, that could be a good play for you. Paul, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. RJ Nolasco, what's up, man? Love the Lightning Blackout. Speaking of 55 by 4 by 35, is it another one? Is it worth getting another one? 35 by 4 by 30? No, there's no difference between those two drillings. The last two numbers are nearly identical. Honestly, if you don't switch the angle by more than 30 degrees for the second angle, you're not going to notice a difference. So the first angle for a Lightning Blackout, when you say 55 by 4 by 35, it doesn't really matter. Now, it matters, but very, very minimally. If you drilled it 10 by 4 by 35 versus 90 by 4 by 35, they'll be very similar. But if you do what you're doing, I don't think you're going to notice a difference. I think you're going to have to make one, like, basically quote unquote pin up where it's at 35 drilling val angle, and then the other one do like 70 if you want to get a separate one. Duncan, really excited to get my purple, blue, and white mix. Hey, there you go. That'll be my wedding colors. Congratulations, man. Love to hear that. Jake Bosma, they say every ball is someone's favorite. I think I'm the only one for the Deviate Dark Side. The Deviate Dark Side is good. It got ignored because it has Deviate on the side of it. It's a good ball. I like mine. It's very, very quick down lane, quicker than I expected. It's just not well liked. Not well liked. Joe or Dom, thank you for all of the gifts on TikTok as well. Ronald, if I have the IQ Tour, is it similar to the Phase 2 Pearl? No, not even close. Not even close. There's a big difference. Chris, what's up with the discontinued Radical Conspiracy? That ball was good. It likes to play straighter, strong, solid, asim solid bowling ball. It's good. Nothing amazing, but it's good. Timmy with the $2 super chat. Phase 2 Pearl or my Optimum Idol Pearl? You're going to notice a difference between the two, but it's not a crazy difference. They fit the same part of the bag. The Phase 2 Pearl is just going to hook later and probably be a little smoother, honestly. I think it's going to be a little bit smoother down lane than an Optimum Pearl. Mike Mitchell, we decided on a 14-pound, no doubt solid for my wife as her first real ball. There you go. She loves the flexibility of the drilling. Your thoughts? Gonna get it on Black Friday? Yeah, I think that's a good call, especially for a first ball. It'll be a little strong, but you'll be able to make some plays off of that and see where it is. Drink of the day, by the way, a Body Armor Light. It is the blue raspberry flavor. Sorry, blueberry pomegranate. My bad. Delicious flavor. 10 out of 10. Turtle Guy, also looking into a stronger ball. Trying to get the Evoke Hysteria, but I'm kind of confused. Is it strong, smooth, or sharp? It's sanded, but it's pearl. So it's not technically sanded. I think it's at 4,000 grit. We count 4,000 grit as shiny. 3,000 grit and higher is generally shiny. Anything under 3,000 grit is seen as dull. That ball is technically shiny. It is a strong and sharp bowling ball, though. It does fit in that category. Alec Lang, do you think the Phase 2 Pearl would fill the great gap between the Hysteria and Primal Rage? Yes, it would. It would fit that gap, absolutely. Rod, Purple Hammer is the Brunswick GOAT. That is honestly true. That is pretty fair. That's why Brunswick is fighting so hard against the bands, is because that is their GOAT ball right now. They don't really have anything else that's sticking in the lineup for a super long time. Why I'm still salty about the NV Tour. I can't believe they got rid of that. It's crazy. That was like 8 months ago too, and I'm still upset. Timberwolf, how does the Hazmat Pearl compare to the Phase 2 Pearl? It'll be a little, the Hazmat Pearl is going to be a little stronger. Little bit stronger, but similar-ish. I don't recommend having both at all. Too Tall Bowling, what is going on? Tall Bowlers Club in the house. Love to see it. Jake, I couldn't catch the stream last week. What exactly is a new core tech from Deviate? So basically, for a TLDR, what Deviate is doing right now is they're making cores where they're expecting you to put just 2 fingers into the ball. Now, the ball still rolls well if you have a thumb in it. Like, they're not just making 2-hand only. But what they're doing is you're able to change the numbers, the post-drilling numbers of the ball a lot with just 2 fingers in it. And you can change it a ton based on your pin to center of grip distance. That's the biggest distance for two-handers. So that's really what they're focusing on with their, with the Dark Side, with the Troublemaker series, with the Heckler series. And more to come, it sounds like. They're pretty happy with what the progress has been. So for a TLDR, that's pretty much what we all talked about last week. James D, you got a hailstorm in Phoenix? That's wild. That's wild. Garrett, could the Energize with Surface be a 1 ball? Oh, 100%. Yeah, that Energize is strong. That thing is super, super strong. Looks really good, but it's an insanely strong ball. But yeah, if you sand it, it could fit there really well. Andrew Lindsay, do you think they discontinued the Zen because of the Phase 2 Pearl? Yes, 100%. Didn't know they were trying to push the sales more on the phase by eliminating a ball. Yeah, there are 2 reasons that a ball get discontinued, and I'll have a video on it on Friday with a little more detail. Either 1, the bowling ball is just not selling well. It's below a certain criteria that the company put in to be able to sell a bowling ball. 2, it fits a little too closely to something coming soon. So the IQ Ruby was a good example. That ball was still selling okay, apparently. All rumors, by the way. Companies don't tell anybody what the discontinued reasons are for business purposes, but that's really what the kind of strong rumor is. But the IQ Ruby, for example, was selling well, it seems like, but the IQ AI was coming out. And if you put out the IQ AI, IQ Ruby sales are going to take a hit. So that's why they did it. Just like Phase 2 Pearl and the Rockstar Amped just came out. So the Zen is going to just completely tank in sales. So that was kind of their purpose, is my assumption. Again, my assumption. I have no insider knowledge. I don't talk to anybody at Storm HQ for that. John. Hustle X-Ray is a good 1 ball for those who like to bring 1 ball into League. Yeah, absolutely. A Hustle can be a great choice for that. Eric Johnson, can I use the Crown Victory on the Fresh? I wouldn't recommend it. It's probably going to be a little too quick. I think it'll be a little too sharp down lane, but it can be a choice you try. You can try it out and see how it goes. James D, I got my second 700 on Monday night with the Desert Tank. Oof, oldie but a goodie. That ball actually wasn't that bad. It was weird, but it wasn't bad. George, what's up? Jack, what all-around spare ball do you recommend? T-zones. 110% of the time, I will recommend a T-zone. Chris, what do you think of the Messenger Pearl? It's a weak ball that exists. It's fine. Nothing crazy. Colton, what do you think about Black Widow Solid? Black Widow Solid is really good for like 50 games. I have never heard more complaints about a ball that its reaction dies so quickly. That bowling ball ends up puking out very quickly, apparently. I had one. I didn't like mine. I got rid of it. I never have had one brand new. It was used at the time. So I can't say this, but I've received so many comments on it. I have nothing to prove it. There's no experiments that you can run on it. But when I posted a couple of Black Widow 3.0 videos, everybody was really upset because the ball reaction just vanished after like 50 games, they said. They said they always had to keep up the surface on it. So I don't know what that's all about, in all honesty. But I think it's a great ball. It was an awesome ball. Is an awesome ball. It's still out. But yeah, a little interesting. Sergio Bonita, looking to improve my 3-ball loadout. You're rocking the Ion Max, Black Widow Tour, and Tropical Surge. I'd recommend a shiny ball. Recommend either like a medium shiny or a strong shiny ball, and I think you'll be good. Dom, I have a Gremlin bowled Tuesday for League and it stopped hooking. Yeah, I'm guessing it's because it hit down lane oil. So the Gremlin, I've noticed, is notorious where there's a lot of oil that gets pushed down lane. That Gremlin will hit the oil and then just not hook that much. So that is something that happens with not just with the Gremlin, but with a lot of medium sharp bowling balls. So if there's people throwing urethane or plastic on your pair, that's probably a big reason for it. So like I said earlier, for example, I had the Viking and I had the Phase 2 Pearl this weekend at a tournament. And there was guys in front of us who were throwing only urethane, which was crazy because it was like game 5 of the tournament. Urethane did not look good, but you know, you do you, boo-boo. Well, I went on their pair and my Phase 2 Pearl was absolutely crushing it for a while. And then it started to like kind of slow down lane. And I was like, yeah, it's carry down. It's not that the ball stopped hooking. There's just carry down lane that's causing the ball to not hook. So I had to switch over to the Viking, stronger core, stronger cover, and then it looked a lot better. So that's something that happens quite a bit on house shot, on really any shot where there's urethane or plastic, or on a lot of house shots too. Every bowling ball carries down oil, but some carried it down more than others. Shout out Purples and Black Hammers. Love them to pieces. Jake Bosma, varsity tryouts going great so far. 184, 190, 162, and then 133, 212, 181. Nice. That's awesome, Jake. Good for you. That's awesome. Jake, please forgive me, but has there been any bowling ball company that has been discontinued and they brought back the exact ball based on popular demand? No, never. They will after a couple years if people are really upset by it. But no, they've never, well, I shouldn't say that. Storm did that with the original Idol. The Rotogrip Idol was really sucking in sales. It got discontinued, and then people wanted a billion of them, so they made one last extra run of them. It made like 100 or so, and then they got rid of them. So that has happened, but they've never said, JK, it's not discontinued anymore, because there's never public news of discontinued bowling balls, which is tough. I think we are basically the only ones on the internet who have public videos right when a ball gets discontinued. You'll hear little rumors and murmurs of it throughout the community, but I think we're the only ones because a lot of staffers, I don't think, are allowed to talk about it, I think is what the play is. Grumpa, I think I want a 1 reverb. It's just so pretty. You think a ball's still valid? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that ball's still great. Mike, I have an Attention Star S2 and a Gremlin. Should I get a Phase 2 Pearl, Rockstar Amped, Iron Pro Solid? Whew, a lot of options. I would recommend a Phase 2 or a Rockstar. I'd split it between those two. They're both really good. They do very similar things, so kind of pick your poison. George Gorman, Hammer new polished house shot killer. Yeah, absolutely. The new blue was. The new 2.0, do not polish that thing. That is much slower down lane. It is not going to be as quick as the new blue. That would be like polishing a urethane, and you don't want to polish urethane. Yeah, Hammerhead is, yeah, it's a medium smooth ball. That'll be good for that. Lamont used the Nebula in League Game 3 was more comparable to the Crown Vic, but more angular in your opinion. Huh. I've heard the opposite from everybody else. You're saying I can bump it up a little bit more? I don't know. My sound amounts seem pretty decent. I think I'm going to keep it there. Let me know if you guys want it a little bit higher, though. Professor Turtle, have you heard of the Lane Master's Straight Flush? Nope. Sorry, man. I've never heard of a Lane Masters ball made in the last 10 years. Sorry. G9 Sneak, between a Hustle M&M, Hustle Glow, and Typhoon, what would best serve me for getting length and a smooth reaction? All three, honestly. They're very, very similar bowling balls. I would just pick your favorite. I think the M&M is a little better than the Glow. The Typhoon will be a little bit stronger then. Matt, Rev Dominant, leaning two-hander. My Raptor Rain and Ricochet Return can't stay on the lane on the alley I work it. I have a Nebula ordered. Where would you go from there? If you need weaker bowling balls, I'd get like a High Road 40. Get like a High Road 40. It doesn't look like you have Storm, so then Brunswick hates that part of the lineup for some reason. They have the Intel Recon or a Bubblegum Vibe. Motive, the Maxwell Pearl is a little bit strong. So I would recommend getting something super weak. Eric, where would that fit in the bag? Eric, I got to find what you... Oh, Crown Vic. Crown Vic will be like a Game 3 ball. David Jones, speaking of Radical, I finally figured out where Radical fits well in B7. Looks like a perfect fit for a tax offset. Oh, poor Radical catching strays. Oh, man. As long as they make a good ball soon, then we can talk. Bowling Fool, I bought it. Oh, yeah, you had talked about that. Out of names, my wife throws a 12-pounder, looking for hook in a box. Is Zero Mercy Solid the strongest cover? Yes, absolutely it is. I don't think it comes in 12 pounds, though. I think it only comes in 13 or higher. How different would the ball reaction be? Oh, it's going to be a heck of a lot weaker. Any ball at 12 or 13 pounds is going to hook way less than their counterpart, because the way to make the ball weaker is they take chunks out of the core. They weaken the core, shrink the core size so that it can be lower in weight. Brian was mentioning last week, actually, that like some cores they have are like 7 pounds for a 15-pound ball, which is insane because that's the core that they make is 15 pounds. So yeah, the way to do that is to shrink the core little by little. James, have SBI or B7 use dual density cores? Yeah, 100% they have. I don't know much about dual density cores, in all honesty. I know very little about that side of the game. Boomer, I bought a ball off bowling.com, the Ion Max, and it costs so much to get drilled at a pro shop. Yeah, I mean, pro shops are expensive. Usually 70 to 80 bucks. But yeah, the Ion Max on bowling.com was super cheap. That's actually where I got mine for like 160 maybe. A pretty good price. Bigfoot Vlogs on TikTok. I got League tonight. I'm running Ion Max, Crown Vic, and Black Widow Hybrid 2.0. I like it. That's awesome. Terry Harlan, Motive Nebula or Zero Mercy in your opinion? It depends on the situation. If I'm going to a tournament, I'm going to want a Zero Mercy. If I'm bowling League, I don't want a Zero Mercy. I think the Zero Mercy Solid will not be a good League ball. So if you're just a house shot guy, you probably don't need a Zero Mercy unless you throw it 100 miles an hour. So it's one of my problems with bowling is I think a lot of bowlers buy the wrong ball just because of like, I mean, I don't think I've heard many content creators. I think Luke Rosdahl is really the only one who is like, I don't know when this ball will be used. He's like, I like it, but it hooks way too much. Because a lot of people don't need that. Almost 95% of people don't need that much hook for their league shot. League shots are becoming less and less oil. So that's where I think I think a lot of these like just excited and sales pitch YouTubers are really hurting bowling more than helping in a lot of ways. Just saying, wow, this ball hooks a lot. Get 3 of them. Like, no, don't get 3. You probably don't need 1. Saya, how would you count? And the Zero Mercy Solid is also awesome. If you're on like a tournament, longer pattern, it's going to be great. You're going to see the Zero Mercy a lot on the PBA tour. I just don't think it'll be good for your typical league. Saya, how would you compare counter uncarry 10 pin? To carry it, I mean, step 2 boards left, 2 and 1 left, and try that out. If that's still not carrying, then you probably need a new ball in your hand. Try switching to a different ball in your arsenal. Self-hating two-hander. What's a good step up from the identity? I would say the origin, but because the origin is gone, we don't really have one right now for Storm. That's about it. Rich, thanks for the great advice. I was wondering if a Crimson Jackal would be used. Yeah, I think that can combat carry down pretty well. If you have a little bit of surface on it, like 3000 grit, it can be really good for carry down. Steven Schaefer, on my house shot, went to 39 feet, 27 mils. Need a ball. That's insane. You're going to need smooth. IQ Tour, Effect Tour, Hammerhead, Venom Shock, Rockstar. That's very short for a house shot. Very, very short for a house shot. KO, I just got 2 of those $80 mystery balls. Any guesses on what I'll get? No, I've seen a lot of garbage in those mystery balls. I've had a lot of people send me like, what'd you get from those like warehouse sale balls? And they're really bad. I've seen old swag equipment. I've seen like 8-year-old Brunswick bowling balls that were terrible at the time. Like, I've seen some really weird stuff on there. I've seen a couple gems, don't get me wrong, but it's like 50-50 on like, it's not bad versus this is absolute garbage. It is literally just a clean out sale. Like, what are some balls we have to wipe the dust off of? Let's throw that into the mystery box. Oh, it's wild. I can't believe I think it was like a swag hype. Like, what the heck is that ball? I didn't pay attention to swag while in pre-times. Because swag actually had a problem where they used to have too much carbon fiber in their covers. So you would drill into them and there would be sparks, which was really unique. That was really cool. But yeah, that was old. The new ones don't do that, by the way. No ones don't, but old ones did. Old swag. I think that hype falls in that category. Clark Marrier, how is it that I've matched up with nearly every ball I've owned over the last 20 plus years, but I don't with the Hysteria? That's really unfortunate. I mean, that sometimes happens. Some really good balls that you just don't match up with at all. That's me with a High Road. The original High Road, I did not roll well with. High Road 40 is good for me. Original High Road, I can't throw. It just does not match up at all for me. Duncan, I mean, which shoe has durable toe cap? Oh, apologies. I am not really very in tune with the shoe market to know that. So I would talk to your pro shop. They're going to know a lot better on what's going to be best. Andy Packy is going to be bowling on Statue of Liberty. I don't know what that pattern is. Statue of Liberty oil pattern. I apologize. I'm not good with oil pattern names very often. I am okay. Computer, you can do it. There we go. Oh, it's super long. Okay. Yeah, you're going to want strong. Strong and smooth, strong and sharp is going to be your play. CPVA, thoughts on the Brunswick Combat? The Combat is, in my opinion, the biggest sleeper ball of the year. We're going to have some bowling ball awards coming up soon in December. It's going to be a super fun video. But I think the Combat is high up on that list of biggest sleeper bowling balls. That ball's really good, but nobody cares. Kind of like something like the One Reverb, where it was good, or the One Ovation. It's good, but nobody cares about it at all because it doesn't have a hammer logo on it, which is crazy. If you release the Combat and said it's a hammer super effect, 100% it would sell lights out. It'd be seen as one of the best balls. But because it's a brand new core cover from Brunswick, people are like, ass. So it's crazy how that happens. It's wild how bowling ball sales happen and how like some bowling balls, it's all about the marketing. That's really what matters. Jake, we hit that a little bit. KBR, of course, the Genesis bag I got on bowling.com is $4 cheaper. There you go. James, I use the same layout, 50 by 5 by 35. Yeah, that is my go-to. Druider, any drills or strategies to not drop the ball on release? Your hand is probably a little bit too high on it like this. Your thumb is probably pointed at the ground. So you want to get your hand a little more underneath or like up the back of the ball. Or your swing is way too angular or way too down at the lane. So you want to have a round swing arc where your ball isn't like on the top of the backswing, just going straight into the lane. You don't want to have that at all. Let's see. Lelu. House Shot Lee, getting Deviate Troublemaker Solid and Attention Star. What should be next? I like your idea of High Road 40. I think that's a really good idea. Riley Green, what surface would you use on an Ion Pro Solid? I would think 4000 grit. I like what it comes out of box. If it's too angular, just hit it with a little surface and you'll be good to go. Invisible Con Man, which ball cleaner do you like the most? I'm a fan of Tack Up, but most of them are nearly the same. They're all very similar. Brennan Yount, I need to make a 4-ball arsenal for a house shot. I throw 2-finger, no thumb. Currently have an Ocean Vibe and a Black Venom. Think about switching out the Black Venom. There is going to be a million options, man. Medium Sharp Ball is going to be your best play, and then I'd go like a Strong and Sharp, I think, and then you keep the Black Venom. If you want to get rid of the Black Venom, switch it with like a Venom Shock or something. Ooh, KBR got my Nebula. Love to see that. Hope it's good. Brooke ripped my Piranha. Sad day. The Piranha, hey, you were the one person who liked that original Piranha Power Core. Drew, is there another strong symmetrical ball I can pair with the Black Widow Legend? What is the Black Widow Legend? Hammer, Black Widow Legend. Is that? Yeah, that one. That one might have been overseas. That one's old. Holy cow. Strong Sharp, Black Widow Mania. I just go Black Widow Mania on it. One's gonna be best. Brandon, does the Phase 2 Pearl fit in the medium sharp category? Yes, the Phase 2 Pearl is going to be on the upper end of the medium sharp category. So right now, going into one of the pieces, of the main title for the video and the topic for the video is our categorization guide. So what we do every month, whenever there's new bowling balls that get released, we update our categorization guides. So Storm, Brunswick, and Motive. We posted our Brunswick one on a lot of places yesterday, which includes the Zero Mercies, the Heckler, all that new stuff. For Storm, I have the Phase 2 Pearl. I think right now, I wanted to put it below the Rockstar Amped, but I believe I put it above. I did put it right above the Rockstar Amped on our medium and sharp category. So right now, I think it goes RST Hyperdrive, Phase 2 Pearl, Rockstar Amped, Gremlin is where our thing goes. So that is where our categorization guide goes for that Phase 2 Pearl. It's on the strong end of the medium sharp category. So yeah, something to keep in mind on there. Also, Brunswick has, I think, 17 strong and sharp balls on the market right now. It's absolutely crazy. They have so many ASIM pearls and shiny hybrids. Crazy. Corey, my current league arsenal, Venom Shock, Jackal Onyx, Origin. Ooh, a lot of balls. Should I get any of the newer balls? I think you have a pretty good arsenal. So if you want to replace the Primal Rage, then you can get a Nebula. But I think all of your bowling balls are new enough where you don't really need anything new, Corey. Stephen Butler, any advice on how to find coaching? Coaching is one of the hardest things to find in bowling. There is an app for it that I don't remember the name of that helps you find coaches. But Google might be your best friend, unfortunately. Or talking to your bowling, like a pro shop guy, just to see if there's anyone in the area who coaches. Scrimblow, and if you can't do that, Mark Baker does online lessons. He charges an arm and a leg. It's like $125 or something, but he does give really good, like 15-minute videos for what fits your game. Scrimblow, it's a sad time in bowling right now. People are falling for the NU hype again. I think after all the disappointments, people would learn. It's got a hammer logo on it. Ironically, the NU 2.0 is the most popular ball of the 5 releases based on both the polls I've been doing. Just barely edging out the Zero Mercy Solid on both of them. So I think if you're a tournament guy, it's going to be good. I think if you're not a tournament guy, it's not going to be as great as you think. I know the New Blue was one that was awful for a while until it lane shined, because it lane shined so quickly. Then it was good on house. But that one was very, very polarizing for a lot of people. It was love or hate relationship. Wayne, releasing the Zero Mercy Pearl and Entity Pearl on the same day was typical Mark. Yeah, I was a little surprised. When I was adding all 5 of the new bowling balls, 4 of them are ASIMs, 3 of them are ASIM shinies and fit in the strong sharp category. It was crazy. Yeah, it's interesting because what they do is they release like different brands on each day. Like they released Hammer, Deviate, and Ebonite this one. So the next batch of bowling balls will be like Brunswick, Columbia, not Ebonite, Brunswick, Columbia. I bet there's a trackball in there, and then fourth brand, Radical. There'll probably be a new Radical ball in there. Evil Eye 2 probably because they're still calling it Ball of the Year. I think Radical is slightly trolling me by being upset about the Evil Eye being called Ball of the Year by so many people because they put Ball of the Year on all their hashtags, which is kind of funny, but it's like, yeah. Adrian, how does the Hazmat Pearl compare to the Phase 2 Pearl? I think we hit that one. Hazmat Pearl's a little stronger, a little smoother. Duncan, I hate the Origin and Zen. Oh, hate that the Origin and Zen are discontinued. Those would be staples for my Pearl arsenal. Agreed. Now I'm thinking Viking, Rockstar Amped, or Steel Forge, and Nebula. I like Viking, Rockstar Amped. I haven't thrown the Steel Forge and the Nebula. I don't get any motive stuff, and I don't really buy a lot of motive stuff. Personally, I'm a little bit cheap with my bowling balls, so I really haven't leaned towards motive. I've matched up okay with motive, but never amazing. So, like, as a bowler, I've usually gone towards Brunswick or Storm. Storm's been generally who I go to first, because a lot of Brunswick stuff didn't match up for me well in the past. So that's really where I've gone. So I haven't really thrown the Steel Forge and Nebula much. People like them. Motive guys really like them both. Much better opinion of the Steel Forge than I expected, which is odd because people hated the Nuclear Forge, but they love the Steel Forge, which is fairly similar. All right, let's see. Quick reminder for everybody, make sure to drop a follow if you haven't, or a subscription on whatever channel you're on. All of it is completely free, so that's the best way to help support the channel, help us keep making all the videos that we do, keep coming out with all of these cool live streams for you guys. Aaron, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it over on TikTok. Appreciate it, man. But let's keep going with a full Q&A. Brooke, I've noticed my balls lost a lot of energy by the time it reaches the pins. My launch speed is the same, but at the pins, it's only around 11.18 or 11.8 to 12.0. Used to be 14.9 to 15.6. You probably have better ball roll, honestly. I bet your ball roll is a little more end over end because when the ball hits the pins, its speed slows down because the ball is slowing down. If you're more end over end on it, that means the ball's hooking earlier and slowing down. So, or you're using stronger equipment. That's the other option. RJ Johns, I have a Rockstar and a Phase 2. I also have the Equinox Solid. I don't have a Pearl yet. Which two of the three would you add? Hyperdrive Pearl, Phase 2 Pearl, or Rockstar Amped? I have a Rockstar and a Phase 2. I also have an Equinox Solid. I don't have a Pearl yet. I would recommend... Which two of the three? I wouldn't get two of those three. I would recommend like an Equinox and like a Phase 2 Pearl or Rockstar Amped, or I would go Hyperdrive Pearl and like an Ember or a High Road 40. I wouldn't get Hyperdrive Pearl, Phase 2 Pearl, and Rockstar Amped. I wouldn't get two of those three. I'd only get one of them. They're a little too close together. Josh Tway, is there a big difference between the Pulse and Theorem Solid? Yes, the Theorem Solid is better. No, sorry. That's mean. The Pulse is good. It just hooks way earlier. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Sorry. It's way smoother. Down lane is what I should say. I think they hook in similar parts of the lane. The Theorem Solid is just a little quicker and a little more usable. The Pulse, you gotta get some hand in it to be able to get it to hook a lot. Jake, this is really random, but in my geometry class, I realized the chair for the desk in front of me is made by Brunswick. It has the logo and name on the back orange chair. Yeah, Brunswick makes a whole ton of stuff. Their bowling department, that is what we see all the time, is separated from their everything else department. Brunswick is a massive corporation. They do a ton of stuff, but their bowling side is way different than the rest of the side. They're actually fully split up between the two. Ethan, I just got the Evoke Hysteria and Equinox Solid. They're so good. Hey, love to see that, man. Brent, difference in ball reaction between strong cover, weak core, and weak cover, strong core. Weak cover, strong core stuff generally is really good on house shots, where strong cover, weak core stuff is good on sport shots, is usually how I see it. Aaron, to further expand, I tend to throw stronger to build all the bag balls more often, so I throw the weak stuff sometimes. Okay, nice. Color, what's going on over on Twitch? How you doing? Skate, how does the Phase 2 Pearl compare to the DOU? What's the DOU? I don't even know what that stands for. CR15 is a 14-pound Shadow Lock, a strong sharp ball. Yeah, 100%. TWA, how does that? We hit that one. Aaron, Should I replace the Road Warrior with the High Road 40 or get a Phase 2 Pearl after my original because I would throw the IQ Tour? You said you didn't like the Road Warrior or the High Road 40, so I would avoid it if you didn't like it. Or get a Phase 2 Pearl after my original because I throw the IQ Tour. Yeah, I think the Phase 2 Pearl would fit a little better. Rosalind, if I have the Mesmerize, should I get the Ion Max 2 because the RG numbers are different? There's going to be similar. The Ion Max is going to hook a little earlier and be smoother for you. So if you want something really similar to the Mesmerize, I'd say go for it. If not, I would recommend something like a hybrid to fit with it, like an Energize or even a Pearl. I think might be a little better. Aaron, just to refresh, my Road Warrior was weak sharp, but learning from you is technically, well, and it all depends. Like, so talking about our categorical scale, Jake, I see your next comment. That'll be awesome. Talking with our categorization scale, one of the big things is it depends on the bowler with a lot of it. It's just a guide. It is not a hard, this is factual 100% how it has to be. That is just a guide based on the ball being undrilled. If you change the surface, if you throw it like high, like rev dominant or speed dominant, if you put on an interesting layout, you can change where the ball fits. So like for you, if that Road Warrior seemed like a weak and sharp ball, it might have fit there better. If you're more speed dominant, it definitely would be more of a weak sharp bowling ball. But if you're rev dominant, that's going to definitely be a medium sharp ball. So it kind of depends on who you are. All right, Jake, over under on the Entity Pearl getting 100 sales. Oh, dude, that thing's going to be discontinued. What month is it? It's coming out in November. It'll be discontinued by the summer next year. Yeah, it'll probably be about 9 months and that ball's gone. Entity is already on sale. Like, I've seen the Entity at $150 already. It was $195 and the thing came out in June. No, June? When did the Ebonite Entity come? I think it might have been June. Ebonite Entity came out in, drumroll please, July. Yeah, so it's been out for 4 months and it is already on sale. Crazy how that happens. Ruby is way better than the Tour AI. I've heard that a lot too. The AI is kind of iffy. Brooke, starting back my junior league Monday. Any tips on getting a higher sport average? I'm trying to work on a higher average since I'm starting college recruitment. My house average is 210 to 220. My league does hard patterns. For that one, your goal is hit the pocket. Have smoother equipment, hit the pocket. Make sure you're not splitting very often are the big. It sounds very simple and obvious, but like those are the big things with a sport shot to be able to raise that average is split less. Hit the pocket more, pick up your spares, and you're good to go. Corey Casey, loving your Ruby. Abe, bowling Black Widow balls are best. Corey, my Widow 3.0 was awesome until it wasn't until the cover didn't crap out. Didn't matter, unfortunately. Yeah, that's what I've noticed a lot. And Mike Mitchell with his weekly don't sleep on the ricochet return. There's a couple people that like it. It's just all the Brunswick staffers I've talked to are like, this thing is doo-doo. So it must be more love-hate than I thought. Jack R, T-zone it is. RJ, need a good medium sharp balls, and my Scorpion Strike is almost done. Luke Rosdahl called the Zen 25 bad. Luke doesn't like the Zens. I say that with the kindest of words to Luke. He is probably the #1 like hater on the Zen, which is fair. Like the Zen was kind of more love-hate. There was just a lot of love for it. I think the Zen 25 is the same. I think the Zen 25 is the closest we'll get to a Zen remake ever, probably. But I can see where he's coming from. It's a very strong pearl ball. Super, super strong pearl ball. Corey Casey, 2 friends of mine both had the Widow 3.0 crap out. Yeah, that's been so common. It's crazy that a lot of you have already had that too. But Wayne's is holding up pretty well. 300 to 400 games on it. Oh, detoxed it twice though too. Okay. Visible Con Man, craziest league night. I won by 2 pins with a 0 spare strike. Way to keep it close. That's wild. Don, Black Widow for game 1. Then I tried to transition to Harsh Reality game 2, then phase 2, game 3. There you go. Sounds fine to me. Awesome. Perfect. Good that the volume's good. Steven, my local pro shop is on Motive Staff. He said the new Jack will have the new Nebula cover. Probably. I was going to assume the Evoke Hysteria cover, honestly, but I could see that as well. If the Nebula does well, I mean, we don't really know yet how it's going to do. It isn't out yet. Alexander Glover, is the Cove a good replacement for the Scorpion Low Flare? Kind of. The Cove is smoother. The Scorpion can be super quick for me, where the Cove is a lot slower down lane. I'd say the Alert is the closest we have to a Scorpion low flare replacement, but it's not a great replacement by any means, but it's close. Closer than other stuff. Moose, how will the Phase 2 Pearl compare to the IQ AI? The Phase 2 Pearl is going to be much earlier and much smoother than the Phase 2 than the IQ AI. Too tall would be a good Pearl in between the Vibo and Ruby. Honestly, Phase 2 Pearl, Rockstar Amped, from Brunswick, GB5 Pearl, Piranha Power Core Pearl will be your best bets. Aaron, I'm going to make a bold prediction. Storm will release an absolute Pearl and a stronger Solid of the Summit. No. Nope. I have a feeling that the Absolute and the Summit lines are officially in the archives and retired. I don't think we'll see those again. I won't be seeing again. One more note about that. Rest in peace. He passed away 2 weeks ago. Late great Frankie May. Okay, sorry. Wayne, I'm going to throw a 300 in league with zero mercy to prove me wrong. Hey, please do. AKA Slusher, thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate it. James D, there's so much hail on the ground. That's crazy. That's insane. Benjamin Hall just saying Jackal Onyx with a fire emoji. It's good. It's a great ball. Self-handing two-hander. I'm not married to Storm, but need to step up from the identity. Unfortunately, if you don't want to go, I mean, then you're going to definitely have to go with Brunswick. They're really the only ones with any balls between strong solid and strong sharp. Like, I would have said the Origin, or I would have said the Physics Blackout for you. Would have been my first two. From Brunswick, though, you're going to want like Energize. Hypnotize is pretty cheap right now. Infinity Quest is there. It's going to be a little smoother for you. Those would be going to be your best bets. Mr. Bogey, my son who's 9 just qualified for his first tournament in the Youth Pepsi. Hey, that's awesome. Congratulations to him. Absolutely. Always here to help with the ball wrecks. Good luck at the Pepsi tournament. Love to hear that. Rosalind, I kept getting 10 or 7 pins after hitting the pocket. So I think your ball might be a little too strong in that spot. That's where a strong and sharp ball will come into play. So yours was probably just being too smooth into the pocket, like not enough entry angle. So you're going to want something that'll be a little more angular down lane to help that. Turtle Guy, my alley I go to has such a weird oiling schedule. I'll go there day 1, and my phase 2 will go straight as a house ball. And the next day, my high road 40 hooks like an Ion Max. Oh, yeah. Knowing the oil pattern that's out is the toughest thing in bowling. I wish there was a way to visualize it. I really, really do. Spareware, thank you for the gold medal, man. Appreciate it. Larry, on my way to league. Hey, good luck, Larry. Gabriel, what's a ball up from the Effect Tour? Mesmerize, Criterion. Criterion is probably the best one. Honestly, I think Criterion fits. Cinnamon Chinchino, if my Gremlin is not looking good on fresh, would an Equinox Solid look good? Yes, that'll be a lot smoother and a lot bigger and stronger for you. Matthew, kind of like you with the DNA. Ugh, stupid DNA. Hate that ball. Stephen B. My local pro shop is on staff. He said the new Jackal. Yeah, we hit that. JR, what's going on? JR Pro Shop. I don't like many shiny balls, but I love the combat. I have one ready in the pro shop for me. I was too lazy to drill it Tuesday. I was getting near the end of the day. I was like, I could drill this, or I could just go practice and be done. So I practiced and went, and I'll drill it next week probably. But I'm excited for it. I'm curious. I have way too many strong shiny balls right now. Like, I don't know where that's going to fit compared to my Energize, my Viking. What else do I have in that slot? Of course, I just got the Phase 2 Pearl, the Rockstar Amped. I think I have one more ball there. Origin. So I have a lot there. So I'm a little worried. Dolomite. I have the Radical Squatch Pearl and the Solid and a Black Widow Mania. Looking for a strong Solid. Criterion. Mesmerize, Hammer, you could go Max Effect, honestly, might not be bad. Zero Mercy Solid if you want the most hook in the world. Something like that. Larry Tripp, on my way to league. We won first place in position round. Hey, that's awesome. Congratulations, Larry. Love to hear that. Aaron, speaking of drills, I think I actually, before my number one problem is with the follow through. I tried multiple ways, just cannot complete the finishing motion like pro bowlers. So that's probably like the finishing position comes with everything else. So your release where your hand is going to cause whatever that finishing position is. So you always see the pros, you know, hand is going to be kind of sideways that way. That's probably because of where their hand is on the bottom and what their hand is doing to the ball. So that's what causes that follow through. If you try just manipulating the follow through, it's not going to really fix your release that much. The release is the number one thing. Number one thing in bowling is just if that release is good, the rest kind of falls into place. How do I do? Yeah, I would release, Aaron will be the play. John Romero, can you explain how 3-point targeting works? Yeah, I can. I don't do it, but I can. So 3-point targeting is something you'll hear a lot by bowling coaches. So that's where you have 3 spots that you focus on where your ball is rolling to be able to get the best results. So the first spot is going to be where your toe is or where the ball is crossing the foul line. That's your first spot. Second spot is where your ball crosses at the arrows. Third spot is where your ball is starting to hook. What is its break point down lane? And if you have like what that line is, then that's going to help you score a little bit better. You know, like your entire ball path compared to just like looking at the arrows and seeing what it does. So it's a good play. I don't do it personally. I'm a bad bowler. I don't do that stuff. Lucario, thank you for the follow, man. Brian Weiss, Hammer Effect or Black Widow Solid 2.0. Very different bowling balls, man. If you're on House Shot, you might like the effect better. Grumpo, where does the intense mindset fit on the chart now? In the garbage is where that ball fits. Now, that ball would be strong sharp. I wasn't a fan of my intense mindset. That thing rolled so terrible for me. It was so strong and so angular and just unusable. Anthony Santa Cruz just rolled the 0 fire. Love my Mo, but Hammer new ball is fire. Okay, nice. Mr. Phil, which ball do you think is more versatile for both league and sport shots? Phase 2 Pearl or Black Widow Tour V1? How would you drill a strong, weaker balance? I think the Black Widow is going to be more usable in a lot of situations because of what it is. Because it's so, you can manipulate it so much based on that cover, on that surface of it. If you dull it, it acts like a medium smooth ball a lot more. If you shine it, it acts more like a medium shiny. But I think that'll be a little more versatile for both. And how would you drill it strong, weaker balance? Just balanced. Go balance is the play. Sal, can you rate my arsenal? One-handed balanced bowler. You have an Envy, an Effect, a Theorem, a Phase 2, an Ocean Vibe, a New Blue, Black Pearl Urethane. You have a lot of strong stuff. I'd recommend some symmetrical stuff next. Something medium shiny might be a better play. All right, so want to talk about a little bit the topics of the day. Pause on the Q&A for just a second, but we will be hitting every single comment that you guys put. The main topics of the day, Phase 2 Pearl just got announced last Friday. We had a review on it go out on Monday. Make sure to check that out if you haven't watched it yet, if you're curious on what that ball does, or if you want to see just my flavor of ball reviews too, because I have a different flavor than a lot of the other ball reviewers out there. I'm one of the few who actually talks about the ball afterwards and takes some time to think about what the ball does and hear what other people say before I actually put out the ball review. But overall, Phase 2 Pearl is the most phase-like Pearl that we've seen yet. So I actually own every single phase bowling ball, Phase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, AI, and now Phase 2 Pearl. And I'm really seeing the Phase 2 Pearl as it rolls so similarly to my old Phase 2s. My 2025 Phase 2 rolls a little bit weird. I don't know if I got a dud or if it's unique and they updated the cover or something. My old Phase 2s are way different. They're a lot rounder. That's where this Phase 2 Pearl really looks good. So that ball has looked really good on a lot of different sport shots for me. It continues to finish, which is nice. Actually, last night, I was able to test what happens when you shine a Phase 2. When you have a Phase 2 solid, but you shine it to the same grit as a Phase 2 Pearl, the reaction is crazy different. I'm going to have some short form content on that soon. So make sure to go check out those platforms. It's crazy. It's weird, the difference, because the Phase 2 is so much slower down lane. It still wants to hook earlier. It still wants to be way slower, where the Phase 2 Pearl says, I'm a hook a lot. So that's been really cool to see what that ball does. I tried it, like I said, on a sport shot this weekend. It looked really, really good for a while. When there was too much carry down, that's when it really didn't look good. I had to ball up to a Viking. That's where like an Energize, a Viking, a Black Widow Mania looks really good above the Phase 2 Pearl. So I've been really excited with that ball. It's been honestly looked pretty decent for me. I'm very excited for that. I'm going to try it in League for the first time tomorrow night. So that's going to be really interesting to see how it does on a house shot with transition. I've thrown it on a house shot multiple times now in practice, but I haven't on with other bowlers there. Gonna be very excited for that. But otherwise, we had 5 Brunswick balls get announced last week. We talked about those a little bit last week, but a lot of interesting ones coming out. A lot of asymmetrical balls. Motive had the Nebula get announced a while ago, so that's going to be medium sharp. That's coming out, I think, next week, if I'm not mistaken. Not 100. It might come out. Did it? It didn't. No, it didn't come out today. It comes out next week. Comes out next week, day before Thanksgiving. And then categorization guides. So you guys have really, really loved the categorization guides that we put on the channel. That is our like strong, sharp, strong, smooth, strong, sharp, etc. and ranking the balls on strength. You guys have really liked those, so we're making them now all the time. We're making them after every new ball gets announced. We're posting those in a lot of places. If you want to see those, we have them both on our Discord, on our TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all the other places. Unfortunately, YouTube, it's a little hard to post. Might try to find a way. But that is where those are. We have them updated all the time. We just updated our newest ones. So really excited for you guys to see those. But let's get back into our lovely Q&A. Make sure to follow or sub if you haven't. Miles, have you done any reviews on the New Brunswick ones? I think that might have been Hammer. No, I have reviews of me not throwing the ball. I currently do not get any of the Brunswick equipment right now. I only get the Storm stuff, so I've not thrown any of the newest Hammer bowling balls. I don't think I'll be buying any of them, in all honesty. I don't need them. Like I said, I have a lot of strong sharp balls, and the Zero Mercy is a lot of ball. It'd be cool to get, but I have a Jackal Onyx, and I have an Ion Max that I haven't drilled right behind me right now. Because I really like that ball. I want to throw it. I just haven't put holes in it yet. Whoopsie. But let's keep going. We are at Jake. I wonder what could be #1 in first ball in the Bowling Ball Awards video. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I should actually, I'll give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek. Where did I put it? I put it on my Google Drive. I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek of our Bowling Ball Awards that are going to be coming very, very soon. It is. What we are doing is we're going to make a video just like an award show. Like the game awards just got announced on who the nominees are. We're not going to do nominee process or anything, but we're going to go through just a bunch of awards. So this is what I have right now. Ball of the year, of course. Best bang for your buck ball. Best ASIM, best sim, 2 different categories. Best color. Best logos and branding. Rotogrip Gremlin has a very good shot at that one already. Biggest sleeper. I have a fan favorite, so I'm going to have you guys voting on what your favorite ball is to see what you guys think. Most memeable bowling ball, I think will be fun. And then the Hype versus Reality Award. What is the biggest letdown in a bowling ball this year? That one's going to be really fun as well. So we have a lot coming. So I will have you guys be able to vote on what your favorite ball is, and I'm ecstatic to see what those are. I'll probably have polls out in the next couple of weeks. So make sure to be following, and then you'll be able to see those. Robert W., I love the Rockstar. Should I get a Phase 2 Pearl or go with the Amped? If you like the Rockstar, I'd get the Amped. Just try the Amped out. Jake, I wonder what could be Worst Ball Award. I wonder what it could possibly be. Hey, it's gonna be unbiased what the worst ball of the year is. There's a lot of options out there. A lot of bad options. Or a lot of mid options. John Morales, I have a Victory, or Crown Victory, Tropical Storm, and IQ Emerald, and a spare ball. What should I get? You have a lot of weak stuff. I'd recommend a medium smooth ball. Get some kind of symmetrical solid, and you'll be good. You have a little bit of everything. The Alert has been really good lately, so I'd recommend that. That ball looks awesome lately. If I didn't have all of my other stuff, I'd probably get an Alert. Adam Miller, Buddies is blowing out the Ethos Hybrid. That thing's medium sharp. It's good. Nobody likes the Ethos line, though. Not a soul in the world cares that much about the Ethos line. It was great. It was a good line. The Ethos Solid is a little... yeah, that needs some work. The Hybrid and the Pearl were awesome. Just ignored. That's one hard thing with Brunswick right now is they just have so many bowling balls that so many good ones get ignored. So best sleeper ball of the year, 100% is going to be a Brunswick ball. There really isn't a Storm ball that gets slept on, and there really isn't a Motive ball that gets slept on. But Brunswick stuff all the time, all the time. Hope Brunswick and Phil don't sue you over the Hype versus Reality. They can try. Oh, yeah, those guys don't like me, so whatever. I bet they'll have fun watching. It will probably be a Brunswick ball, and that's... well, I mean, it might... if it was last year, I think the Phase AI would have won. But well, it would have been close. But I think, yeah, the Evil Eye... the Evil Eyes actually has been... I've seen a lot more positivity than I expected after release. But I've also heard nothing about that ball. I've heard 3 comments of people of oh, that ball's pretty decent. But otherwise, there's 0 chatter compared to other bowling balls that get released. I'm still hearing stuff on the Rockstar Amped, still hearing stuff on the Primal Ghost, but very little about that Evil Eye. All right, I gotta skip a few over on YouTube. If I miss your comment, apologies. Brooke, thank you. It makes a lot of sense. I put a lot of work into changing my release, and the better my release got, the slower my speed got. Yep, that makes sense then. Wayne, you should save all your live stream chat earnings and use it to get a new Radical or C300 ball every month. I should do that, but the last time that I made a like, I hate this ball video, it got disliked into the world. That was the torpedo direct hit in the IQ-78 when I made that worst of the ball video. People were not happy. So I might, maybe. It'd be a good time to try an Evil Eye out. Sir Isaac, YouTube, Twitch, YouTube, it doesn't matter. I even bought your shirt. Hey, thank you, man. I commented in every chat on every platform for like 6 months, never got a comment. Oh, wait, hold on. Never mind. I know who that is. Isaac, you're supposed to be playing trivia, right? Robin, is Zero Mercy the first ball with the HK22C squared? Yes, they are the very first bowling balls with this brand new cover. The goal of it is just to hook early, grab the lane super early, and they succeeded. Hey, Aaron, you are welcome. Justin Mata, is there such a thing as shining a ball too much? Yeah, if it doesn't hook, but that's fine. If you go like 4,000 grit and put like some of True Cut's gloss on it, the ball will never hook. Aaron, I'm definitely not speed dominant, but never got my revs measured. All my bowling balls are pin up. Kyle G, have you ever done a video talking about fit when getting a ball drilled? I have not. I do that a lot, but I have not made a video on it quite yet. Dolomite, one hand, no thumb, rev dominant. You have Squatch Pearl, Squatch Solid, Widow Mania. What do you like better, Evil Eye or Zero Mercy Solid or something? Yeah, Evil Eye could work there. That's honestly a spot where the Evil Eye could work. You are rev dominant, so you might want like a Theorem Solid instead. Do not get a Zero Mercy Solid. That's going to hook way too much, but maybe a Theorem Solid would look better. Wayne, there should be an Entity Solid. They should take the Entity Solid, change nothing, and call it the pure NV2, and it'll sell. Oh, 100% it will. Yeah. Absolutely it will. It's kind of funny how that works. Storm actually did that one. Well, kind of. A lot of the companies do it. But for example, well, 2 examples. One of them is, I forget what Storm ball. I think it was like the freaking Frantic or something. They released it. It didn't sell well. They renamed it and put an old marketing name on it, and then it sold like crazy. Brunswick did it with the Rally. The C300 Rally is literally just a remake of some of those speed bowling balls. And I mean, it's not doing well. It's ignored right now. It's fine, but it's ignored. But they kind of did the same thing. I don't know. Do you know any two-handed coaches in the Minnesota area? I don't know many coaches in general in this area, in all honesty. I apologize. Gandhi, what's going on? What axis rotation angle is most effective for different oil patterns? That's a lot of question. Honestly, like the less axis rotation, the better a lot of the time. I don't know if there's an optimal one. Like, I don't know of a degree for optimal ones for different angles. The less you have, though, generally the better. But you do have to manipulate it at times. Chris, opinion on the Scorpion Strike? Yeah, the Scorpion Strike was awesome. Medium sharp ball. It was really good, really continuous. Kind of like a GB5 Pearl now. They're very similar bowling balls. Mike Mitchell, I had a concussion a couple of years ago, which affects my short-term memory. I forgot that I mentioned the ricochet return. Oh, no, all good, Mike. No, don't worry. No, I think you're like, I always know you as like one of the 2 guys who love the ricochet return. The other is Bowling Fool. You guys are like the 2 people that I know of that actually like that ricochet return so far. So no, I was just saying that you're actually one who likes it. Which is fine. Like, every bowling ball is somebody's favorite. A lot of people might not like it, but others might love it. JC Bowler, tips on playing inside with a lot of hold and getting in to stand up and drive, especially in transition. ASIM Solid or hybrid with surface. Oh, yeah, a lot of these questions, like in like which ball fits best in these situations, there's going to be 100 different bowling balls that fit there. But playing inside with a lot of hold and getting in to stand up and drive, especially in transition. ASIM Pearl, generally. ASIM Shiny Ball is going to be your play. Brunswick and SPI, you got like, I don't know, Equinox, RST Hyperdrive Pearl. There's 17 Brunswick balls that fit in that category. All the strong shiny balls, strong sharp balls are going to fit there as well. Steven on Twitch, I have the Max Thrill Solid and Pearl, Primal Rage, and Venom Shock. Think Invoke next. Yeah, that could work well. It'll be strong. What's close to an IQ tour? Honestly, nothing. Venom Shock might be the closest thing you got. Eric Gonzalez, thank you for the follow, man. Janet, I love my IQ AI for playing straighter at a 267 and 637. Nice. That's awesome. Love to hear that. Jack, how good is the Energize? I like my Energize a lot right now. I think it's a really good house shot ball. It kind of fits that perfect house shot ball in my opinion. So if you're looking for just that one house shot ball and you're not like overly rev dominant, I think strong sharp is always the category to pick. But along with that, I think something like this Energize is pretty decent because the core isn't too strong. The core isn't going to roll out on you. The cover is a little bit stronger, but it's still shiny. So it gets through the front if there's not much oil, and it's still going to be a little bit angular down lane. It's going to be really good for like 2 games. Generally, at that point, you have to ball down to something a little bit different. So I think that's a really good option. Dink. I just changed to two-handed. Similar hand position, but higher speed. How much will plugging my thumb hole affect ball motion? Very little. Very little. AKA Slusher just got the Zen 25. I like the Zen 25. I think it's really good. The big thing with the Zen, it's super strong. Very, very strong bowling ball, but it's still going to be a little bit angular down lane, but still good. Gandhi, many new balls came out recently. What would you pick as ball of the month? For October, I would say Rockstar Amped. That ball was really good. I've heard very few negative things about that ball so far. I think it's going to get forgotten because of the Phase 2 Pearl, but I think the Rockstar Amped is up there. Or was that September? I don't. No, that was October. That was October. Yeah, Brunswick's last batch wasn't good, if I remember right. That was like the Evil Eye batch, right? I think that was the Evil Eye batch, and that was very, very mid. Cool. My page isn't loading. Got it. Tori, what's close to an IQ Ruby? High Road 40. Yeah, High Road 40, IQ AI, Intel Recon, things like that. Let me catch up over on TikTok quick. C. I have a question. What is the best solid bowling ball for two-hander? There's a lot of bowling balls. Yeah. A lot of questions like that. There's just too many. I would spend 5 minutes going through them all. You'll want like a medium smooth bowling ball. Check out my categorization guides. Pick a medium smooth one. Alert might be fine. That's a good one right now. Phantom Shock. Simon Chinchino, do you think the Equinox Solid is usable on 40-foot house? I think so. It'll hook a lot, but I think it'll be okay yet. Kaisaki, is there a small or big difference between the Ion Pro and IQ Tour? There's probably like a 5-board difference and a pretty big difference down lane. The Ion Pro is a stronger IQ Tour, a bit stronger of a ball. I see it as a little bit smoother as well, where the IQ Tour is longer and quicker. So there is a difference. Do you need both? Probably not, but there is a good enough difference. And then, yeah, hopefully that helps. Jake, throw a 300 with the Zero Mercy Solid on wooden lanes. Oh, God. Oh, no, please no. That ball hooking at your backswing. Rich, is the axe falling under the slow absorption rule? No, because the axe does not have a high performance core in it. So USB-C made a limit where if the ball is a high performance core, and they have they've had rules for that in the past. I think it's like over an 0.20 differential or something. Then it falls under that rule, but otherwise, nah, that ball's fine. But it does not absorb oil, though. That's something to keep in mind. No plastic ball like that does. That's why the direct hit was in the ban, and Radical threw their little hissy fit. It's a super strong core, so it fits as a high performance core, and the cover doesn't absorb oil. I can confirm that by throwing the direct hit. It does not absorb anything. It is so slimy. I've never seen a slimier bowling ball after you throw it a couple of times. The KR Strike Force Rise was very similar because that has that super weak non-absorbing cover stock. Any non-absorbing cover, the cover just gets gross, just gets really, really nasty, just because of how much oil gets put on it. All right, we got to skip just a little bit. Ralph Ruiz, I have an Ion Max, Equinox, Ion Pro, a lot of bowling balls. I think about getting a Phase 2 Pearl. Yeah, you don't really have anything in that Phase 2 Pearl spot. Yeah, you wouldn't really need to replace anything either. Emmanuel Green, how do you like the Gremlin with polish or without? Bowling a sweeper on 40-foot Abbey Road. I liked it without. I think that's where I liked it. But if you're someone who plays straighter, I'd keep it at the same surface. I'd keep it at like that 1500 shiny. That's where it's best. Abbey Road, 40 feet, you're going to want to play a little straighter is the best I can give. Straighter with smoother bowling balls. Playful. All my practice is on burnt lanes with lots of carry down. I'm getting good at scoring well on those, but on the fresh at league, I'm having struggles. I would try to figure out why you're struggling. Is your ball not hooking? Is it hooking too much? And I just practice that. You don't want to, when you practice, your goal isn't just to go for score. If you're going to practice and your goal, I want to shoot the highest score as possible, you're not going to get as much out of that practice session. Your goal is going to want to be try to learn different things. Like if your ball is having a problem, like your hand is just in a bad spot, so your ball's not hooking, your ball's spinning too sideways. That's where the practice, no matter what your score is, you just want to get that hand behind the ball more. So I'd focus on what your struggles are at league. try to change that in practice a little bit, and then do not care if you're striking in practice or not. Just care if your body feels good, if you get videos of yourself, if it looks good, whatever it may be. Also, Driving Cook, thank you so much for the follow, or for the $10 super chat, man. Appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. You have a hyped solid, a phase 2, and an Ion Max. I don't really like the Ion Max. Should I replace it? What should I replace it with, and what else should I add? I'd honestly replace it with a shiny ball. You have a lot of dull stuff. I'd go like, it looks like you have all storm stuff right now, I'd go like an Equinox. I think would be pretty good. Equinox, Identity, Viking. Actually, I'd go Viking. Screw that. Yeah, go Viking instead. Something a little bit quicker down lane will give you a little better ball reaction. Then you have a ball down when you throw your phase 2 to start or something. I think that'll be good. D-Wash. For house, I use Zigzag Solid and the Hypnotize. What can I add to that arsenal? You're going to want something a little quicker down lane and a little weaker. Those are very strong bowling balls, so you might want a symmetrical to fit with it. I know, even though I say that, I think a Black Widow Tour fits well. That acts like a symmetrical ball, even though it's ASIM. Something like that might be good. Slusher, just got the Zen 25. I think I talked about that one quite a bit. George, I never heard of the 3-point targeting system. I was doing the same thing since I was a kid, but creating a constellation. Oh, there, yeah, you were pretty much doing it. And it makes sense. Like, it's not like it's super crazy mind-blowing of an idea. It makes sense. It fits. Yeah, that fits, that you're like just kind of putting points together to make a pretty horse or something. Cortland, I'm looking for a ball when the lanes start to transition. Primal Rage or phase 2 Pearl? I think the phase 2 Pearl will be better for that. Because it's stronger. The Primal Rage is a little weaker and a little bit quicker. That'll be better for later burn. Corky, I have a new ball oven. Pearl and hybrid cover stocks don't seem to sweat too much. Is there any point in baking them? I wouldn't bake all that often, honestly. I wouldn't bake them all that often. I would like after 50 or 100 games, but I wouldn't in any less than that. I would avoid it. Andrew Bush, sorry. Zero Mercy Solid going to be too strong for the average house shot? Yes. 100% it will be. For most people that are watching this right now, that Zero Mercy Solid will be way too strong for a house shot. It's just so strong. It is such a strong bowling. Uh-oh, the wee-woos outside. Sorry if you hear that in the background. Amazing Robin, probably why they updated the core. Yeah, if they didn't update the core on the phase 2 Pearl, so that's kind of the big thing. Like, if they didn't update it, that was the problem with the PHAZE AI. The PHAZE AI, the TX16 cover was too weak for that ball, where this one, they strengthened it. So if you had that as a solid, if you had TX25 solid on a phase 2 core, it's going to hook more than the original phase 2, is what we're basically seeing. TJ, Luke Rosdahl's show was more trying to define what a bad ball is. Conclusion of the show was one man's trash, another man's treasure. Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. And it's a perfect point. There are very few quote unquote bad bowling balls. A lot of bowling balls are really good right now. However, there are more niche bowling balls, which is really the definition of good and bad isn't one person's opinion, right? Like the ball that's scoring best for me right now is the Rockstar Amped. Is it ball of the year in general? No, not even close, because it might not roll. It isn't the most versatile ball in the world. What a good ball is a really versatile ball where a lot of different people really like it. A lot of different play styles roll it really well. Every ball has a spot. Torpedo Direct Hit is always the perfect example because, like, for me, that's one of the worst bowling balls I've ever thrown. For a lot of people like me, or even more speed-dominant bowlers, it will be the worst ball they've ever thrown. It will never hook. But for highly rev-dominant bowlers on a certain lane condition, that ball is money, and it's their favorite ball ever. So it really all depends. That's the problem. Whenever you see people that say ball of the year on their ball reviews, it's always hot garbage. It's always trying to clickbait you, trying to click on it and buy it. Because ball of the year is what fits the most people. It's not what sells the most. It's not what content creator ABC says is the best. It's really what fits the most bowlers and what has the most positive reviews of any ball on the market. That's kind of the big one. And Luke is a perfect one who understands that really clearly. That's one person. He's one who truly knows what he's talking about. He's awesome. He understands that concept. He's not trying to sell you guys stuff. So that's he understands that really well. So the ball of the year stuff always grinds my gears a little bit because I see it as like trying to trick a consumer, which is unfortunate. Like, you guys don't deserve to be tricked. by a lot of these people. It's just unfortunate. I wish I've always wanted to make a video of like all reviews are broken and this is why, but it would get a lot of flack, so I can't really. It's just not a good idea for the channel, but it is it is true. I've seen more ball of the year posts this year than ever before, especially by a lot of staffers. Oh my God. I can't go on my personal Facebook page because it's just flooded by Brunswick staffers saying the one ovation is the best ball ever made. And you need to buy 3 of them. Storm staffer saying the Rockstar Amped is the best ball ever made. And you need to buy 3 of them. Guys, no one's forcing you to say this stuff. Come on, you don't have to. It's okay. It's okay to not say every ball is the best in the world. You're not making money by selling it. Unless you're the pro shop. Storm, ball of the year is not even available to the general public. Exactly. Yeah, 100%. There's so many of those of like, wow, this ball rolls so good for me in this condition. Like, brother, no. Mike Mitchell, based on what you said, equates to the ball of the year. Do you think the alert could be in the running? Absolutely, 100%. The alert has a lot of positivity behind it. I think the one thing that's going to knock it, which happens a lot in awards, is it came out so late in the year, which is good. This is a good time for bowling balls. But right now, I still don't think we know truly enough about that ball, but it's a fantastic ball. I think it makes its way to a top 5 list. I would argue if I made the list today, I think the alert would be in a top 5 for medium smooth category for the year. Dan, I know he's a staffer, but I like how Mikey Tang does reviews. He describes the ball motion in ways that make sense. No, Mikey, honestly, like he says more than than a lot of other staffers do. Like Mikey is fantastic, where even in his phase 2 review, he said, I'm upset because Storm released the Rockstar Amped and it's really good. But then they release a phase 2 Pearl right after it, and they fit the same spot in the bag, which is really unfortunate. And he's 100% right on that. He is 100% right. I hate that the Rockstar Amped is going to get discontinued so quickly because the phase 2 Pearl release. Like it happened with Brunswick this year. The Black Widow Mania came out in January. What happened to every other strong and sharp ball? They got the axe. They got cut immediately. Crusher Hybrid came out at the same time. That ball wasn't bad. It got ignored and got discontinued quicker than any ball in history. So kind of unfortunate how that happens. Let's see. I want to see if there's any more ball of the year type stuff. I do not think so. Dawn, alert is selling like crazy. Exactly. The alert is on back order right now. I've heard that from multiple pro shops, like from multiple different distributors, that the alert is on back order because it's selling so well. The funniest thing with that ball is what was the most advertised ball before release? The Evil Eye. I wonder, I still have my poll, I think. Let me check what the poll numbers were. I think the alert did pretty okay on that poll, actually. On hype. It was, nope, not that one. Bowling ball, new ball poll results. Let's go October, I think. Yeah, the alert and the energize I put together at 42% and 41%. Oh, I don't know if I posted it on board. I thought I did, but yeah, it was the Radical Evil Eye was seen as higher up, but the alert is by far a better ball. So it's unfortunate how that happens, but that is just how it is. Storm B, Mikey Tang mints no words about releasing the Rockstar Amped. Oh, no, he didn't. He was correct. Aaron, I know I just heard what you said, but you did. You literally said the Rockstar Amped will be discontinued. Not saying that it's discontinued. No, I'm saying that I will predict that it gets discontinued too quickly because I'm guessing its sales will drop because the phase 2 Pearl came out is what I was trying to say. No, that ball is not discontinued yet. If I have not made a video on the ball being discontinued, it's not discontinued yet. So trust me, I have all of that. George Gorman, we'll say it for you. Ball reviews are a joke. We all have different paps. We're all bowling on different shots, and you don't know what they're bowling on. Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the tough things. Do you think Storm will have more releases before the end of the year? We're kind of at an awkward time. I don't think so. I think we are done with ball announcements for 2020. I would assume we're done with ball announcements for 2025. Brunswick has a chance to announce something new. So it is, I mean, Brunswick balls are releasing tomorrow on the 20th of November. So if they give it 2 weeks and they announce on the 2nd or even on the 9th, that new bowling, I bet Brunswick announces stuff on the 9th. And then on the 19th is when or 18th it'll release. I bet there's gonna be new batch of bowling balls. Storm, I don't think will, because the timing just doesn't really add up for them. The Phase 2 Pearl gets released on the 28th. They would have to announce something on the 5th of December and then release it on, that would release the day after Christmas. I mean, they are releasing the Phase 2 Pearl the day after Thanksgiving. They wouldn't do that, would they? Would they? Would they? I see Don saying you're funny. I hope they don't. Just wait till January. Give it a week. December is the biggest month for that. Oh God, I can't imagine. I honestly have no idea if anything's releasing yet for December. I assume it doesn't, just based on timing, but I'm probably going to be proven wrong. Speaking of, Mike Mitchell saw a new motive ball that is on the approved list called the Frenzy. It has the same logo as the old Thrash, and I found out from one of my friends that the Frenzy was actually a motive ball that did get released like 10 years ago. It was a pearl version of the Thrash, the shark ball, and it was very bad. It was not good. So they might be remaking it, but like that was a symmetrical pearl. They just announced the Nebula, so I bet it's overseas, is my guess. I'm guessing it's overseas. That would fit. Storm B is thinking next ball is mid-January. Mike Mitchell, yeah, Alert is also super cheap. The Alert is like 160 right now? I can't remember. Brunswick Alert. Why is my voice going away? 160. Yeah, it's only 160, which is awesome. It is not an up the boards ball either. I just saw, sorry, I saw a thumbnail that said your best up the boards ball. No, it's not. That ain't it, Chief. That ain't it. It is strong. Strong for a medium smooth. All right, let me catch up. All right, Mike Mitchell. Hope they don't sue you. Yeah. Tori Casey, Ebonite and Track make some excellent balls. Dude, Ebonite and Track are awesome. They make great stuff. Unless you talk about the Cypher Pearl. Now, I should buy a Cypher Pearl just to prove to myself it's not as bad as I talk about. But I haven't heard many good things. Clark, don't sleep on the Super CUDA Power Core Pearl, minus the name being absolutely long, like the longest name in bowling. Yes, it is actually a good ball. Corey Casey, love my GB4 Hybrid. Oh, it's so good. What's Storm's next release going to be? It's got to be an ASIM. It's got to be some kind of big ASIM. They have so many weak bowling balls right now. It has to be an ASIM. Vito, my first ball when I got back into bowling was the Ethos Hybrid. No, the Ethos Hybrid was good. Again, just a ball that got ignored. Steve Jacino, sorry, building my arsenal after recently getting back into it. Awesome. Welcome back. Looking for a strong and sharp ball as a speed dominant, low rev bowler. Looking at the Energize. I recommend the Energize. I think the Energize is a great option. G. Bryant, what's going on? Do you think of the B7 brands, they should decrease it from B7 to like B5? I think it would be okay. I don't think it'll ever happen. All the brands kind of have their own niche right now. I think what they would do is just release less bowling balls from the brands that aren't doing well. Like you're not really going to see multiple Columbia 300 balls get announced at the same time. Versus like this last month, we had three hammer balls get announced at the same time because they're going to sell. Columbia 300, you're going to see one at a time because they just aren't selling well. They'll just put less resources into it. Kind of like a regular business where like, man, our marketing department just, we don't see the return on investment. We're going to take some of their funding and put it somewhere else where we think we'll see it. So that's kind of what Brunswick will probably do. And I don't think they'll ever get rid of stuff. There's too much history behind a lot of those brands. Like minus Deviate and Radical, which are newish. The rest of them have so much history, you really can't get rid of them. Like if you got rid of Ebonite, the world would explode. Oh, if you took away Game Breakers, look out, world. Look out. Maui's hair tie, your form. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Andrew Franks, Arsenal, check. Reality, Vibo, Phase 2, Rockstar Amped, IQ Sewer, Tropical Surge, Midnight. I like that a lot. If you're trying to swap the Reality, go Equinox Solid will be closer. Yeah, I'd go Equinox Solid instead. Justin Cox, what do you think about starting with a Tour V1, then an Alert, then a Recon? I would personally go Alert, Tour V1, then Recon. RJ, picking up my daughter from college and her bowling balls are Ion Max, Equinox Solid, Energize, Zen, Rockstar. A lot of smooth stuff, a lot of big smooth, but that's better for house or better for college. There we go. Tori Casey, watch Bowling Fool's video on the Ricochet return. He loved it and tore it up. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he adores that thing, which is awesome. Stephen B is bringing 2 6-ball bags with you. Too many. You have a 6-ball bag? That's a lot. I think that's a little too much for choices, especially for League. I'd only recommend 6 for League. I don't think 12 is really necessary. Joe Barnes, ball of the year is the Equinox Solid. I mean, it'd be cool. I don't think it's just, I think Stu Williams said it best. He said the Equinox Solid is in the category of bowling balls that bowlers need, but they're not going to buy. Other bowling balls like that are like the Theorem Solid, things like the Absolute Power, the XL. They're bowling balls that bowlers need and I think would be more usable. It's just not, they just don't get sales. Like, in my opinion, things like the Ion Max, the Zero Mercy, all of those are too strong for most house shots. For most bowlers, where the Equinox Solid, the XL, all those balls are a little bit better because they're a little weaker. But the big strong balls get more sales. They do better. They're flashier, all that jazz. You're going to notice that bowling companies don't really get rid of those strong, smooth, hook monster bowling balls that often. They're usually in the line for a couple of years. Ion Max has been in the line for 2 years, I think, now. Just how they are, because they sell well. Because everyone wants the biggest, strongest hooking ball, the most return on investment for a pro shop. Kind of a win-win for everybody, minus the consumer who pays the most money. So that is how that is. Melvin, what's the deal with the Rotogrip RST Black? That was an overseas ball that I think Bowlers Mart had a couple of and charged or put out on the market, I think is what happened there, if I remember right. But it's not a domestic release. It's not a US release. User, do you still sell Shammies? I do. DH Labs on DH Labs sells our Shammies. We are running out of our regular red and blue Shammies, so we're going to have some new colorways hopefully coming soon. Reminds me I got to hit them back up. I should do that after this. Dan F, been a frustrating league season for me, so I brought only a plastic ball and had the most fun I've had. That's awesome. Don, in practice, I work on targeting in good form. I also work on getting comfortable with each ball. Absolutely, absolutely. Watson, where would the swag Unreal fall? In the garbage. No. Swag Unreal. Is that... No, this was an okay one. This one was pretty decent. Yeah, this one was better than some of the others because it was, 251047 solid? You not say? Yeah, the Never Quit Solid. I like that. Yeah, Never Quit Solid. So that one is going to be a medium smooth. Definitely medium smooth. Fly Fella. I have the Exponent, Jackal, and DNA Coil. I think I have a bigger solid. Equinox or Zero Mercy. Or would a more angular option? I mean, if you're Jackal Hybrid, if you mean the Jackal EJ, I'd recommend a shiny ball then. But if you mean a shiny Jackal, I'd go a solid ball. Storm B, the non-AI makes a Phase 2 Pearl better. Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I am not a big fan of a lot of my AI bowling balls. The Rock Stars, fire. Absolute fire. But like my Physics Blackout, it flares so much more than a Physics. And I should have drilled it differently. And that's what bothers me with the AI stuff is I drill it too strong because that AI core makes it so strong and so rolly. That was the problem with the AI, where this Phase 2 Pearl acts like an old Phase 2, which is like perfect because I should always preface my Phase 2 stuff. I am the biggest, absolute largest fanboy of the Storm Phase 2. I have thrown more of that ball than any other ball in history. It's the only ball I've drilled 3 of ever. And not at the same time, of course. Don't drill 3 of the same ball at the same time. But I've drilled 3 of them in total in my life. And I will probably be buying more in the future. So, how it is. Delivery to Joe. I think it means it's time for a Phase 2 2.0. No, because they'll just add AI to it. That's going to be terrible. Dolomite, how long have you held on to your favorite ball before you moved on because it stopped working for you? I still own my Magnitude 35 from Brunswick that I won a state title with. And it's cracked. So I hold on to bowling balls way too long. Way too long. I finally threw away my first Phase 2 like 2 months ago. I had it for 5 years. I didn't throw it for 2 of those years. I just still had it just in case. Bowling with Matt. Thank you for the heart me, man. Appreciate it. Gandhi, when a league is going on, how can I follow the scores? The best way is, what's that site called? Lane Talk. Lane Talk is going to be the best way to be able to see scores, but the bowling center has to have it installed or connected. Let's go down a little bit. Grumpo, LaShawn wants a new big ball to replace our archetype. Theorem Solid, Mesmerize, Criterion, things like that. Let's see, Dan F. I know he's a staffer, but I like how Mikey. Oh, yeah, we hit that one. Front line. If you could only buy one motive ball that would work for a wide amount of lane conditions, Venom Shock. Venom Shock. Absolutely. Aaron, do you think Storm will have more releases before the end of the year? We've hit that already. George Gorman. Yeah, we'll say it for you. George, strength-wise, which is stronger? Ion Max, maximum effect. Zero Mercy Solid. It is the strongest bowling ball on the market, period. Zero Mercy Solid hooks more than everything else on the market. Hooks earlier than everything else on the market. Mike Mitchell, yep. Alert is less expensive. Eric Hernandez, Ion Max Pearl when? It's on the approved list. I don't know when, but it's on the approved list. I think that one would probably come next just based on what they have. Hey, Jer Bear, what's going on, man? Physics Blackout was last December. Yes, it was. It was the only December release of a bowling ball, too. That was the only one, and it did not do well. Antonio, who's the best player? EJ Tackett, if you're talking about bowlers. Ben Price, what's going on? You're my go-to channel. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Taylor Rose, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Bowling with Matt, do you know what's up with the Ion Max Pearl? It's been on the approved list for USB-C for a while. It could be overseas. It could not be. We don't really know yet. We don't really know yet. We'll see probably. I mean, we'll get probably Storm announcements for the next ball in like, probably going to be like 3 weeks is my guess. 3 weeks to a month. Nigel, between a Rockstar and Equinox Solid, which do you like better? I like the Rockstar better personally. It's a little more usable on more conditions, but the Equinox Solid is still very good. JR, there may or may not be a December release coming. Wow, that is... Yes, correct. I want to be snarky. I want to be snarky. Yes, there might be. We'll see. We'll see. I personally have no idea. Antonio, who do you want to be sponsored by? Nobody. Being sponsored is a little bit over. Actually, no. Ghost Energy. That is who I want to be. That is my number one. Actually, no, give me Nike. Nike, actually. I did actually apply to be a Nike influencer. I'm curious what it all entails. Very curious. But no, I don't think any bowling brand. I throw a little bit of everything. I like to throw what's good. Whatever's best on the market. So I'm at a point right now where I really am happy with being able to talk about every bowling ball. I think the staffer culture gets a little bit toxic of people think that the only way you're a good bowler is if you're on staff. But I know plenty of 180 average bowlers who are on staff who are there because of, you know, influencer or something like that. So it doesn't really help. JR, I'll whore myself out to an energy drink company that wants me. Exactly, man. Exactly. Which, speaking of that, use code ZVL Bowling for 20% off at G Fuel. Sour Power is really good right now. The I gotta show this. Hold on. This one. It is the Shiny Splash G Fuel. I love it. Blueberry lemonade. It's the only blueberry lemonade flavor I know. I used my own code for that, and I'm so glad I did. I love that flavor. It's so good. Welcome to the ZVL Bowling Energy Drink Review channel. Watson Abuse. We hit the medium smooth for the Swag Unreal. Dan F. Ion Max Pearl is on the list. Think it'll be out soon. It might be. I don't really know. I don't think we'll have a release for 2025 anymore. I think this was the last one. Larinsk, what are your top 3 lefty one-handed bowling balls? Easy. Effect Tour, IQ Tour. Effect Tour, IQ Tour. Alert. Go Alert. Wayne, C300 Pulse should have been branded Radical Red Eye. And it just has a picture of a flight on it, an angry passenger on a flight. Dan F, careful if Red Bull reaches out, they may want you to bowl on a tightrope over the Grand Canyon. Oh, I'm in. Actually, I don't like Red Bull. Like I'm not a guy who will take a sponsorship for a company I don't like, or I don't like their stuff. That's like one of the biggest YouTube like do's and do nots. Like, don't accept a sponsorship for something you hate because it's going to make life really hard. It's going to make life really, really hard. Aaron, I thought of something. Will there be an Ion Pearl in the future? I guarantee there's going to be an Ion Pearl at some point. They're doing way too well to not do an Ion Pearl. Just don't know if it's going to be like the small core, like the Ion Pro, if it's going to be the big core, like the Ion Max. Not really sure. There is an Ion Max Pearl on the approved list, but that's all we got. All right, I got to skip a couple comments. Apologies to try to catch up over on the YouTube side. David, as winter approaches, do you bring your bowling balls back and forth to league? I bring them back and forth. I've never rented a locker in my life. I bowl too many tournaments to warrant actually keeping them at a certain bowling alley. And I don't trust my bowling alley. Well, actually, mine right now is actually open quite a bit. I shouldn't say that. I've always been worried of like, what if I have a tournament and I can't get in? My home center, actually, they were closed on weekends in the summer. So like if I was bowling a summer event and my bowling balls were there, I was screwed. I had to bring them home, which was really unfortunate. So I'm one who's notorious for always bringing my stuff home. I like that better. It's a lot more work, but it's my excuse of pretending like I'm working out is really all what it is. Ben Price, do you think a GB6 solid will be coming soon? No. I think if the GB5 gets discontinued, I will guarantee a GB6 within 6 months. I think is what it'll be. But I don't think so quite yet. I think we'll get a GB5 hybrid first to replace a GB4 hybrid, and then we'll get a GB6. BL Hawk, I have my El Nino. Wow. Byron Bashard, do the GB5 and Zen 25 fit in the same bag? Absolutely. Garrett, does the Energize or the Hypnotize fit better between the Mez and the Vaporize? I think the Energize fits better. It just seems like it's a little better ball. The Hypnotize was a lot smoother. The Energize is a little quicker. So I think that's a little more usable personally, because I think the Vaporize is a really, really good ball. I think it's probably going to get discontinued soon. It's been out for a year and 3 months, but I really like that thing. I think that ball's still really good, and I hope it doesn't go away. I probably need a new one sometime soon. Brunswick, hit me up. Mean Boy, know someone with a 6-ball bag. It's 3 2-ball plastic carriers that are stacked. That's so interesting. I really don't see that much. Yeah, there it is. 6-ball, 3 2-ball cases stacked. Jack R, can you buy 3 of the exact same ball and drill it 3 different ways, strong, balance, and weak? You can. The reaction is going to be minimally different. It's not, I don't think it's going to warrant being different enough. Mike Emmert, 2 weeks ago, you answered my question regarding lane shine. I bowled an 804 after that. Dude, that is awesome. Congratulations, Mike. That is so cool. I'm really glad you threw the ball. I didn't do anything, but thank you so much. Yeah, I'm glad my advice actually helped. I appreciate that. Congratulations. That's an awesome set. I think you got me by 1. I think I threw 803 a couple of weeks ago, so you jerk. You just had to one-up me, didn't you? Brent Williams, we hit. Bagak. How about an Ion Max Pro we hit? Zach, Ion Pro Solid has been goated. Dude, Ion Pro Solid is in the running for ball of the year. It's good. Everybody loves it. I've seen more of that ball in Minnesota than a lot of other balls. Minnesota is mainly a storm-centric area, but that's probably the #1 storm ball I've seen in this year just in Minnesota. It's so good on the house shots. God, even my Ion Pro, I threw it last week. It was so good at hitting the pocket. Carry was iffy, but it was so good at hitting the pocket. 300 Dreaming, when is your next Rate My Arsenal? I'm so upset with the Rate My Arsenals because so for a little bit of context, the TLDR of it and my excuse is just I'm booked way too much for a lot of that, for being able to do one of those. The Rate My Arsenals are a lot of video. It's 40 minutes of recording, generally 30 to 40 minutes of recording, plus probably about an hour of prep work, being able to get all the bowling balls into my spreadsheets and stuff. And then that's not counting the editing afterwards. So those are arguably my longest videos to make. And unfortunately, because there's so much other bowling stuff going on, it's very hard to squeeze those in. I'm trying. I'm really trying to do that in my free time, but to be able to balance like myself from going insane and still getting out all the content that I do, I need to... It's always the one that ends up falling through the cracks, which is really unfortunate. I'm trying to, if I will be getting more out. I promise you that. Coleman, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Coleman. I think I need a ball between the Sublime and the Road Warrior. Hustle USA isn't cutting it. Sublime and Road Warrior. Or should I replace my Sublime with a Phase 2 Pearl? Phase 2 Pearl technically fits there. I wouldn't replace... Oh, no. OG Sublime. My bad. Not the Focus. I was thinking that Sublime Focus. Original Sublime and the Road Warrior, that's where like an Ember, a Rockstar Amped fits. Even the phase 2 Pearl fits there. It's going to be a step down from your Sublime. So I think it can fit there. You don't need to replace it per se, but you absolutely can replace it if you want to. Absolutely can. And F, we hit Bud's Corner. Ghost Energy is my favorite. They're so good. I need more. I need to buy more energy drinks. Vito, if you have an Ion Max, should I go ahead and get the Zero Mercy solid? No, they're too similar. They're too similar. G. Bryant, Swag has a thing this month where you can sign up to be chosen as a staffer. I like Swag, but I like the idea of being able to throw other brands more than one. What Swag has always done with their staffer programs is they use it as a marketing tactic. They're trying to get those forever customers with theirs. And all the companies do it, honestly. Like I think a lot of the companies, they would love to have more staffers because they don't usually get free stuff. You're still paying, but you're just paying a much cheaper price. But that person is only buying your products versus if they're not, they're going to be buying a little bit of everything, and it cuts what they're going to be buying of yours by a third or by 2/3 technically. So Swag is kind of like, well, if we sign these people, then they're only going to throw Swag and they're only going to purchase Swag bowling balls because Swag staffership, from what I know of it, I'm not the most knowledgeable on this, but what I remember in the past was they would you would never get balls for free. You would still be paying, but you'd just be paying like 20% off or something. So it's kind of their way to get forever customers, which is fair. Like it's a good idea. But that's just how they do things. George, the store in upstate New York stopped carrying G Fuel. What? No. Their cans are good. Big Sad, I've regrettably had to move on to C4 Cherry Popsicle. Those are still good. I've actually liked C4 a lot more lately. I used to be the most anti-C4 guy, but I actually like them now. Johnny A with the $5 super chat also. Johnny, thank you. Welcome, welcome, man. Great to see you again. Where would the phase 2 Pearl fit between your Optimum Idol Pearl and my Road Warrior? What can I do to slide more? So for the first part of your question, it fits like a step below your Optimum Pearl. It's going to be a step below, but it's going to be about 2 steps above your Road Warrior. As for sliding more, I really recommend getting interchangeable pads if you're having that problem. It's going to be the best way to be able to fix it. Get shoes that have those interchangeables. Black Friday's coming up. Shoes are going to be dirt cheap. Companies are going to want to get rid of all their old ones, especially like Dexter just announced the SSTXs. They're going to want to get rid of all their old stuff. So you're going to be able to get interchangeables for like $100. So I'd recommend that instead. It's going to be a little bit better for you, better for your needs. John Anderson, what do you think of the phase 2 Pearl? I have thrown it probably about 20 games, and I'm so far a pretty big fan of it. Overall, I'm not a guy who will ever say get 3 of a ball. I like the phase 2 Pearl. I like my original phase 2, and it does exactly what I wanted a phase 2 Pearl to be. It's what I wanted the phase AI to be. I did not like my phase AI. After 3 games, it was terrible. After my review of it, it looked so bad all the time. It did not match up for me at all. Phase 2 Pearl is what I expected. It's stronger, it's slower, it's one of the slowest Pearl balls on the market. It rolls good on harder conditions, which is really what I wanted. So I'm a big fan of it right now. I really like it. Now, is it better than my Rockstar Amped? I don't know. I think they do 2 different things for me right now. I think if I go to a house shot, I want the Amped. If I go to a sport shot, I want the phase 2 Pearls, where I'm at right now. But so tough. So tough. Poop Goblin. How do the Black Hammer and the IQ78 compare? IQ78 hooks earlier, but also rolls more forward. The Black Hammer is more continuous. TJ Devon, is plugging and redrilling worse on an asymmetrical or symmetrical? It's the same. It's the same on both. Crazy White Dude, I need to ball slightly weaker than the Pulse. Alert. Alert is a step down from it. John, I prefer, if you ever can, Purple Hammer, Black Hammer are better than Pitch Black IQ78. All day, every day. 300 Dreamin'. I was the first to buy the Alert in my bowling alley. I've seen so many drilled since. It's good. It's a good ball. I'm tempted to order one, even though I have my Scorpion Low Flare and an extra Scorpion Low Flare, and I have a Cove. I'm tempted to try an Alert out. It's just for the YouTuber side of me. I shouldn't. Personally, if I was a bowler, I wouldn't because I have too much in that slot, but it does look really good. Like, I think if that spot was open for me, I would get an Alert. Oh, now an Ion Pro as well, which is similar. Bob Standard, can the phase 2 Pearl be a house shot killer? I think so. I think I think it can be for the right person. I've never been a fan of phase 2s on house shots, but I bowl more sports stuff than house stuff. That's why I like the phase 2. I was never a big phase 2 on house guy. I could get to 220 with it, but I could never get to 260 with it on house. Sport I can for some weird reason, but house I really can't. I think it was hooking too early for me. So tomorrow I'll be able to test the phase 2 Pearl truly on a house shot. Although last night, I think I shot 270, 260 with the phase 2 Pearl. I was switching between my OG phase 2 Shiny and my phase 2 Pearl, and I went 270, 260. That was pretty cool. Jack R for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much for answering my questions. You have an awesome channel, very knowledgeable. Absolutely, Jack. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for hopping in. Always, I'm here to help. My goal in the bowling community is to help you guys. That is what we're trying to do. Just help you guys make right decisions, enjoy bowling more, grow this lovely sport that we all do way too much of, and all of that fun stuff. So that's really what we're trying to do. SKE, how is the Hammer Max effect? It's good. It's a good ball. It's super strong. A little more forward rolling than other balls. Should I get the Pearl instead? I think the Pearl's is better than the Maximum if you want more angle. If you want just smooth and slow, Max effect is the play. Mike Emmer, what's funny about my 804 is I've not bowled a 7. What? Mike, that's awesome. That's super cool. Congratulations, man. That's sick. I love that. I haven't bowled a 7, but I bowled an 8. Dan F, do people prefer the Ion Pro Solid shiny or dull? I'm seeing a lot more of it shiny. The ones who like it dull actually do like it a lot, but it's more for like sport if you have it dull. Is there much of a difference with the regular Ion Pro? Yes, it's always quicker. The Ion Pro Solid is always quicker. G. Bryant, what is the typical ball motion when a pin is drilled out? It depends on your PBA, on your positive axis point. For me, that makes my VAL angle about 55 degrees, or 60 degrees when I drill out the pin. So for me, it's okay. I have that on my Jackal Onyx, but for you, that might make that VAL angle really low or really high. It just depends on where your PAP is. All right, we are going to do a last call for questions. We're at about 8 o'clock. So put any other questions you guys have down below in the comment section. Before you do that, if you haven't, make sure to drop a follow or a subscription on whatever channel you're on, whatever the free version is. That's the best way to help support the channel, best way to help us create all these videos. Trying to be able to make the time to be able to make these videos is always tough with a 40-hour-a-week job and being able to keep bowling going to give you guys more information. Because if you have a bowling content creator that doesn't bowl, it makes it really tough. So trying to do all that, the best way to support is just keep subscribing, keep following. We are still the fastest growing YouTube channel, which is crazy because we're at 15,000 subs. So massive thank you to all you guys out there. TikTok is still blowing up. We're one of the bigger TikTokers for bowling, all that other fun stuff. So any kind of support is greatly appreciated. But let's hit the last couple of questions before we call it a night. So let's see. We have Jet. Do you think with a certain cover, the combat could fall in the medium category? I think you'd have to drill it super weak, but I don't think it ever can. I think it's always strong sharp. Lucario, what could I get that sits under the GB5 and the the Destiny Pearl was really weak, right? That was Ebonite, I think. Yeah, the Destiny Pearl was, I think that was an 03. Oh no, that was stronger. That was an 053. Crown Victory. Honestly, Crown Victory is going to be a good quick option for you. Matthew, when are you coming back to Michigan? I am tempted to sign up for the USBC Masters for the giggles. If it doesn't fill out in 5 minutes or if I notice it. So if anybody has a connection to get signed up for the Masters early, quickly let me know. Because that would be fun to do. And I think that's in Michigan this year. I think it'd be fun to go to. I think for the content. Divine, has your opinion changed on the Ricochet return now? It's probably stayed about the same. Yeah, there's more people that like it than I expected, which is good, but it's still, so many Brunswick guys just are like, it's not that great for them. So I think it's still iffy. It's very speed sensitive and very cover dependent, from what I've seen so far. Skate Geezer, since my center discontinued PBA pattern practice sessions, I roll an AMF 3-dot and an LT48. That's crazy. David Jones, Rockstar Amped versus GB5 Pearl. Rockstar Amped is stronger and sharper. JC Bowler, my OG phase 2 pin down 2 to 3K is very nice on Clift House. Yeah, Clift House is where it's best. Definitely. Matthew Novak, what's going on, Matt? Slightly speed dominant bowler looking for something between my Sublime Focus and the Kaboom. Primarily bowl on house shot. I always think whenever I hear the C300 kaboom, old Black Ops Zombies, where when you hit a nuke, it says kaboom. Primarily bowl on house shots. What would you recommend? Stronger Pearl, honestly, I think would be the play. GB5 Pearl, Piranha Power Core Pearl, Super Cuda Power Core Pearl. If you want to stay Brunswick, I think will be the play. Don, great chat tonight. Hey, thank you, Don, for hopping in. Really appreciate it. Cinnamon, if my gremlin isn't looking good on fresh, what ball would you go to? I think something smoother is generally the play. So like a phase 2 or Rockstar or something like that. Not Theorem, Equinox Solid. I get the Theorem Solid and the Equinox Solid mixed up. Maria, what is a good series for a U12 youth bowler? It all depends. Age is not an important thing in the world of bowling because experience is what is. Like, you can be a 15, I guarantee there's 18-year-olds out there who've bowled more than me, who have more bowling experience than me. I'm 10 years older than them. So it all depends. It all depends on how long you've been bowling. Bowling with Matt, great value magic eraser, $2. Oh, that's what it is. Great value magic. Yeah, the magic eraser kind of does what a lot of those brands do. Yeah, I have that ball. Casey, I took my hammer raw solid down to 500 and back up to 4,000. You're not crazy. That's very common, is to go 500 into polish. That's very common. I think Brady McDonough was here last week and he mentioned that. Riley, I'm a two-handed balance bowler. What should I add to my lineup? What do you have right now, Riley? What does your arsenal look like? Lurks, what do you think about the Evil Eye? Very strong. Evil Eye is very strong, very smooth down lane. If you need strong and slow, that could be a good play. Yofo, are league shots less oily than sport shots? Sometimes. And is it the cost of oil? Yeah, a lot of places will put out less oil to save costs. But there are some, like my house shot has more volume than the sport shot I bowled on this weekend. It all depends. It's kind of all over the place. And Yofo, is 14 pound going to be the go-to weight? Nah, I don't think so. 15 will always be. Yofo, which carries more on house, angular or continuous? It depends on the situation. Early on into a day, continuous. Later on in the day, angular. Garrett, did you say Ethos Hybrid is medium sharp? I did. Yes, medium sharp. Did we see anything from Riley? No. Drew, favorite ball all time? Phase 2. Lurks, how should I drill it because I'm left-handed? Is there a difference? Yes, make sure to go on the Radical guide. Radical has their drilling guide. Make sure to use that. Very important. Harrison, what do you think about the Troublemaker Solid? I like the Troublemaker Solid. I think it's a good ball. It's a weaker solid, which is pretty decent. Wayne, I'd rather pay double for bowling balls than be on swags. I got to admit, I did get rid of my 2 swag balls. I gave them away. I couldn't find a use for them. I tried them in different situations and they were just never better than other stuff that I've thrown. Like, I would rather throw other brands that I have. I remember trying the Apex Pearl and it was bad. The couple times I brought it to places, it was just taking up a spot in the bag for useless. It was unfortunate. Riley, Deviate, DNA Blaze, Identity, Jackal EJ, Rockstar, Mantra, Ion Pro. Oh, you got a lot of stuff. And your question was two-handed balance. What should you add? I mean, brother, you've got a lot. Actually, no, you need shiny stuff. You have no shiny stuff. Yeah, get like a medium shiny ball. Rockstar Amped, Phase 2 Pearl, Ember, GB5 Pearl, Primal Rage, something like that. All right. Last questions. Carlos Lara, is the Phase 2 Pearl living up to the hype for you? The original was my first ball and I'm in love. Yeah, so far it actually is. So far it's actually holding up pretty well. Better than I anticipated. I was worried going into that ball. I was praying it was good. You can check my text messages to people. I'm like, please, please let this ball actually be good. I'm terrified because the other Phase Pearls haven't been great. It's overall really good. It's overall a really good ball. I'm a fan. Yofo, stronger means early than would a strong solid always be stronger than a strong pearl? Yes, it will be. And Don, I fear if I get a Bowler's Mart mystery ball, it'll be swagger TDH. Dreamin', I still haven't seen an Evil Eye in the wild yet. I haven't seen many. Very few. All right, but with that, we are going to call it a day. I want to thank all of you for hopping in today. I really, really do appreciate it. Friday, we have one of 2 videos coming. We are going to have either a discontinued bowling ball guide, looking at all the discontinued balls, seeing how long a ball stays on the market, what brand discontinues stuff the quickest, which one doesn't discontinue stuff, and a little more on why they get discontinued. The other video that might come is going to be explaining our entire 6-ball arsenal guide, which categories are going to be best for each kind of bowler, and some good examples for it. That is actually going to pair with an article that we're writing for bowling.com, our very first article we are ever writing, which is weird to say that I've written an article for a large company. It's wild, crazy. I will talk about that more when the video comes out. That's either going to come out Friday or Sunday, and then the other one's going to release the other day. But with that, I want to thank you guys so much. I will be live next Wednesday night. Anything special for next week? I don't think so. I don't really have any big plans like for what to do for stream next week. So I think we're just going to vibe and hang out and do our usual. But that is what we are going to do. I want to thank every single one of you for hopping in today. I really, really appreciate you guys being able to hang out on all these Wednesdays. We have more people every week. More people every single week hopping in. I really love and appreciate that from all of you guys. It means a ton to me. So thank you guys so much. We have a lot of awesome content coming. Make sure to follow and subscribe on all of our different platforms. If you want to interact with me and a lot of bowlers more, we have our Discord link down below in the description. It's an awesome place. We're at almost 900 people out there. It's just constant daily bowling talk, which is super fun. Yeah, Level Up. They seem to be a bowling company that's coming up fast. They've been around a long time, but I think since we are building their social media side a little bit more, they're a lot more known, which is something I've been pushing. So I want to thank all of you anyways so much for hopping in. TikTok, I'm going to say goodbye to you first. TikTok, thank you so, so much. Jake, please hit my last question. Is that a good arsenal? Bubblegum vibe, Arctic vibe. That's a really, actually, that's a really good arsenal. Never mind. I thought it was going to be weak to start, but Jake, that looks really good. Riley, do you think you can use both the Rockstar Pearl and Phase 2 Pearl? No, I wouldn't recommend both. All right, TikTok, thank you so much. If I keep answering questions, I'm going to be here all night. But thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, TikTok. All right, TikTok is done. And then it's just us, all of our long-form platforms, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Thank you guys all so much as well. I will see you guys next Wednesday, 6 o'clock Central Time. Really hope to see you guys there. Have a great rest of your week. Have a good weekend. I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.